We go, howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and I may or may not have just hit the wrong button on my stream deck and began the intro without the camera coming up and nothing happening. And, oh, what was that? Something just fell out of my beard? What the heck is that? Oh, that's a bit of seed from my bagel. I had a bagel this morning. That's unfortunate. Having a beard can be problem-causing like that. Welcome back to NieR Replicant, where we need to see if the audio is in fact working. What was that? Something just... Yep, that's me, fumbling with my beard. Fantastic all around. Great to see Gilliam hopping in to say hi on Kick and on YouTube, which is crazy, as well as another... individual, oh, and on Twitch, another individual trying to scam me into buying bots for Kick. What is the point? Why would I want fake viewers on Kick? That gains me nothing. Who does this? Do people do this? I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I'd rather have Gilliam watching on Kick. I mean, I'd rather Gilliam not be by himself. Yeah, I'd like more people on there, but I'd rather have Gilliam on Kick than 100 bots spamming emotes. I'd rather have Gilliam spamming emotes. That's more fun. You know, as a real person clicking on the little bouncing bee thing, as opposed to just some bot somewhere at some point. Now, we are back in NieR Replicant. We are going, yeah, that's what I want to see! Clapping Pepes! Let's go! Thank you so much for the Pepes, Gilliam. Now, today, we're going to try to get as far into the C run as we can, because this is the last time we're going to play through the second half of the game. Basically, when we get to the... I know I've said this so many times. I know we've talked about this so many times, but just to lay the groundwork for the plan for the next playthrough, it's almost identical. What we read yesterday was that there's some additional Popola and Devila scenes, and once we get to the final boss, which we know where that's going to be because we've been there twice already, we're going to go back to the Lost Shrine. We save our game right before we go in. We do the ending. We make a choice, and then rather than play through the second half again, you just reload that save, do the ending, make the alternative choice, and that'll get you your C and D endings unlocked, and then you go back in for E. And E is the big finale ending that apparently sets up whatever happens in Automata. So for this one, we're going to be moving fast, okay? We're going to be skipping things that we don't have to look at because we've seen them before. We've got to be careful that we don't accidentally skip new scenes, but I feel like having seen most of the things in this game twice now, we should know what we've seen and what we haven't. So we should be able to get through it pretty quick. And I feel like I'm just wasting time by talking, but just to set up what needs to be done for this run-through, we're going to be Sonic. Yes, Gilliam, we're going to embody speed. I am speed. I am a little blue hedgehog. I'm horrible looking at first, but enough fan backlash will get me redesigned to look more like my video game self, and it's less repulsive. I'm voiced by... what is that guy's name? What is that guy's name? He voices one of the ducks in the remake of DuckTales, or the relaunch of DuckTales. He does a good... Isn't he in... I think he plays a minor character in Parks and Rec as well. I might be wrong. That's who we're going to be, okay? And we've got to first go to the Lost Shrine, then we're going to go to the Junk Heap, then we're going to go to... Because we'll go to the Lost Shrine, get the first piece of the medallion or whatever it is, go to the Junk Heap, go to the Forest of Myth, go back to the Junk Heap, go to the ocean, deal with Ocean Girl. Go to the desert, deal with desert things. Ben Schwartz, that's it! I was thinking Ben, but then I was like, Ben is the name of a character in Parks and Rec. That can't be, but Ben Schwartz is correct. Thank you, Gilliam. Fantastic stuff all around. We're going to knock this out real quick. First things first, we got to go speak to Popola. Again, we're not really expecting anything different now, outside of additional scenes and new contexts. That's what we're expecting to get, but I don't think the ending is actually going to play out any different until we get to the E playthrough, where everything is different. Hopefully, like, we already know that Emil survives, because we've seen a new post-credit scene last time that shows him as a bouncing head.
Popola?
Oh.
Look, I want...
Stop.
We're just going to zoom through this, by the way.
Trying to protect the...
It's very...
I don't see... There's anything new here.
That's...
But...
They're going to send us out to do the Shadow Lord's Castle nonsense. Nice and easy, nice and simple. I wanted to talk about the Jurassic World movie again. Because I've been stewing on it. Okay, I liked the DuckTales reboot as well, Gilliam. I would talk about that, and we will here in just a second. But first, I've got to rage against Jurassic World. First off, I think I called it Jurassic World Annihilation. I don't know where I got that name from. I don't think that's the name of it. Isn't it Jurassic World Rebirth? It doesn't matter, because the more I think about it, the more awful it is. Now, I said I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. And in some respects, I still don't. I've seen worse movies. I think what I hated most about this one, though, is it's just so pointless. It felt like such a pointless movie. And the thing that really irritated me about it was the new mutant dinosaur. Okay, I've got a lot I want to say about the mutant dinosaurs in these movies, alright? They got it in their heads at some point that the public didn't care about dinosaurs anymore. They say this a lot in the movie, but I think that's supposed to be a meta-commentary, or a meta-analysis on the real public. I think, genuinely, these filmmakers are like, people don't care about dinosaurs anymore. We gotta show them mutant dinosaurs creeping around in ships and things. Or, not ships and things, but, well, no, we had humans creeping around a ship. The most interesting part of the second Jurassic World movie was when, Claire and Star-Lord had to go get some blood out of a T-Rex. That was fun. Okay? But they genuinely believe that we need to see mutant dinosaurs. I don't care about mutant dinosaurs. I actually care... Okay, none of this is new. We've seen all of this before. Can we skip it? They're not going to let us skip it? This is Gretel being upset that Hansel is dead and complaining to all of the other shadows that I'm not like you. Okay, I'm not like other girls. I'm a different kind of shadow mutant demon creature. So, I care less about the mutant dinosaurs than I do real dinosaurs. I would rather see real dinosaurs, right? If you have so many unused dinosaurs in these movies, literally pick one and make it the bad guy. They did that with Spinosaurus in the third movie. Now, did they accurately portray Spinosaurus? No. But even in that case, it was a mutant Spinosaurus. They explain in later, like, off-screen materials, right? They have all these different websites and stuff you can go to that are, like, in-world websites where they explain things. It's like, that's not a real Spinosaurus. That was a Spinosaurus that InGen was doing experiments on, and they heightened its aggression and its strength for some reason, I guess, to make it more interesting, and then it got loose on the island and started terrorizing everybody. Like, that's the more... That's the off-screen explanation for why that one is different than the ones we get in the newest Jurassic World movie, okay? But that doesn't matter, because at least that's still a real dinosaur. Spinosaurus exists. You get the Indominus Rex, the I-Rex, in the first Jurassic World movie, okay? And even though I don't really care for it, and they could have just had, like, a real dinosaur, or even just, like, a T-Rex that went wrong, that would have been more interesting. Not that you created this hybrid dinosaur, but that you had a T-Rex, and during the genetic process, something went wrong. But it was kind of interesting looking. You decided to keep it, but the older it got, you realized it wasn't just like some physical malformities. It actually had like really bad aggression and anger. That could have been interesting, but whatever. You gave us the Indominus Rex, and that movie is about the Indominus Rex, and it works, right? Whatever criticisms you want to lob against the first Jurassic World movie are completely fair and completely like warranted. It's not a perfect film. It has its flaws, but you feel like it's about the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex plays its role. It's throughout the whole thing. It's well handled. I'm fine with it. The second Jurassic Park or World movie, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, is mostly about dinosaurs until the very end, where they're like, "There's another mutant dinosaur," and you go, "Why? We just did that. I don't need it again." But they give it to you again, and this time it's a lanky boy who creeps around. And you know what? Even though he's introduced like halfway through the movie, I once again buy it as a threat, and I accept it as a story element. And I'm okay with it, okay?
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand.
Now, here's my problem with the new mutant dinosaur in the fourth Jurassic World movie. They introduce it at the beginning of the film. First, I've got a lot of things to complain about here. For a movie that I said was fine, and I didn't hate, I've got a lot of things that over the last 24 hours, I keep thinking about it. It's one of those things where, like, I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, but you engage with a piece of media, and upon initial inspection, it's not too bad. Maybe you didn't love it, maybe you just barely liked it, but it's not, like, repulsive in any way. And then kind of the more you sit on it, the more frustrated you become with it. That's where I am right now with this Jurassic World movie. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait a minute. First off, we didn't need another island. I'm going to get to the mutant dinosaur in a minute, okay? But we already have 2 islands. You got Isla Nublar, where the park was, and you got Isla Sorna, where the events of Jurassic Park 1 and 2 2 and 3 take place. And it was explained in the movie and in the books that Isla Nublar was the park island, and Isla Sorna was the island where they actually developed the dinosaurs, and then after they evacuated the island for a different storm. I'm pretty sure there was 2 different... So there's the storm that destroyed Isla Nublar in the first movie, and it is unrelated to the storm that comes along and causes an evacuation of Isla Sorna. And during the evacuation, they just went ahead and unleashed all of the dinosaurs so that they could survive on the island or some nonsense, right? So you have Isla Sorna. Now, in extra... I keep wanting to say extracurricular. That's not what I mean. In media outside of the movies, they explain that Isla Sorna no longer has dinosaurs on it because they were either collected and sent to Nublar, or they died off because of Spinosaurus hunting them, or all kinds of different excuses and reasonings, and that's fine, okay? You know what you do? You look at that and you say, hey, that's not in the movie. We're going to retcon it because who cares? I don't care. Maybe some nerd on the internet's like, wait a minute, I read on this in-universe website that there were no dinosaurs on Isla Sorna anymore. Hey, you know what? InGen lied. InGen told a big fat fib, and they kept cloning dinosaurs. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure that this dialogue is not new. They kept cloning dinosaurs on Isla Sorna, and that's all there is to it, okay? It was... oh, we got all of them off, or they're all dead. Nope, they kept doing work on there, and that's where they bred this new monster dinosaur. But no, they don't do that. For some reason beyond moral explanation, for some reason beyond the comprehension of the average human being, the decision is made in this franchise... I don't know why, but they're going to add a 3rd dinosaur island. And they explain in the movie, and I'm okay with this, because at the end of Dominion, I was confused. I thought that all the dinosaurs were being round up in Dominion to be taken to Dotson's Biosyn Island, or not island, it's a valley in the Alps or something like that where they can't get out, and that's where all the dinosaurs are going to be. And that's how we're fixing what was a mistake of letting the dinosaurs loose on the world by a little clone girl who says they're alive just like me. You know what? That's what I thought was happening, but they're like, no, that's not what happened. They didn't all get collected. A lot of them still survived around the world. Oh, but wait a minute. Only around the equator, because it's not a great world for dinosaurs anymore. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, all the dinosaurs live around the equator. That's a great way to deal with all of the dinosaurs, you know, being let loose. Except for the fact that it never really made sense that there were so many dinosaurs based on the handful that escaped at the end of the second Jurassic World movie that the little girl let loose. There's like 12 dinosaurs in there. What do you mean the world's full of dinosaurs now? How'd they get all over the world? Oh, well, some of them got bought by, like, you know, foreign nations and whatnot as part of the auction that played a big role in the second film. Sure, and then what, they let them loose to just, like, breed and be free? Like, you just spent how many millions of dollars on that Tyrannosaurus Rex to use for war, and you're just letting it go? Nonsense. Also, I'm pretty sure none of those people actually got their dinosaurs. Because didn't the dinosaurs escape and everyone fled at the end of that movie? And then the bad guy gets squished? I don't know. The fact that dinosaurs were everywhere in Dominion after the results, or after the events of Fallen Kingdom didn't make any sense at all whatsoever. But that's okay. More cloned? They could have been more cloned. I'm sorry, we gotten off subject. This isn't the main part of it. You're right. They could have just cloned more. But the point I'm trying to get to here is that fine. In Dominion, they're all over the world. Okay, if you don't want dinosaurs all over the world in your 4th movie, the easy solution is to say, well, we even though Dotson got eaten by the frilled dinosaurs, Dilophosaurus. Isn't that what happened? Did he get eaten by Dilophosaurus at the end of Dominion? Well, he got eaten by Dilophosaurus, but his company did manage to get all the dinosaurs in Dinosaur Valley. And then you set the adventure in Dinosaur Valley! You have Dinosaur Valley. Hey, we got to get in there and we've got to sneak into Dinosaur, which is now being protected by like multiple world governments. It's a United Nations secure Dinosaur Valley. That's a cool movie idea. Dinosaur Valley is a cool movie idea. And if you, oh my gosh, how neat would that be? And it's got all the world's dinosaurs have been recollected in there and secured by UN. So we need Scarlett Johansson and Hassan Piker, because that's what the guy looks like, and I can't remember his actual name, and to be blunt, I don't care. They're all in there. They got to sneak past UN guards, smuggle in there to get the dinosaur DNA. If that's the plot you really want to go with, that's fine. But no, they decide not all the dinosaurs got captured and put inside of this valley. Instead, they're still all over the world, except they're all actually around the equator.
I like camping.
And then, okay, fine. So some dinosaurs are around the equator. Did some of them end up on new islands? No. No, that's not what happened. They were cloned on a third dinosaur island because no one in Hollywood can write a good script. Everyone in Hollywood is slightly brain dead. That's just the reality of Hollywood, baby. So stupid. And like I said, like the easy solution, if you really wanted to be on Dinosaur Island, fine. They lied about Isla Sorna being abandoned. Put more dinosaurs on Isla Sorna. At least then you have the opportunity, because these movies love the, hey, do you remember when this happened in your favorite movie franchise? You got the opportunity to take them back to that little village where the girl did gymnastics and say, wow, that looks like a cool place to do gymnastics and kick a velociraptor. Wow. You could do that. You could do that. That's an option available to you if you feel so inclined to do that. Just have them on Isla. No, we gotta have a third dinosaur island. Is so stupid. And then we get to the clone dinosaur. At the intro to the movie, they give us an unnecessary third dinosaur island for reasons beyond understanding. And then they introduce the new mutant dinosaur. Because for some reason, these idiots still think that you cannot just have dinosaurs be the villains, or dinosaurs be the monsters. They're like, no, they've got to be mutants still. No one wants them or needs them to be mutants. That's not a requirement. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that, but fine. You introduce a clone dinosaur. I was okay with it in a couple of the previous films. Well, guess what? They don't do anything with it. It's in the intro to the movie, and then you forget about it until the very end of the movie, where it shows up and does nothing. The mutant dinosaur doesn't do anything! You think it might kill one guy, but it turns out he's alive! And apparently the reason for that is because test screenings didn't like that he died! So they just changed it! His heroic sacrifice is nothing now! It's bad! It's a bad movie! It's a bad movie, and it didn't need a clone dinosaur! Gilliam, have you seen the new Jurassic World movie? Have you seen the fourth Jurassic World movie? Have you seen it? If so, think about the ending of that film, okay? The very final 20 minutes where the clone dinosaur shows up. Take clone dinosaur and replace clone dinosaur with any other dinosaur. Literally, it doesn't need to be this big hulking mutant. If it had just been the T-Rex from the river chase scene, which was one of the better scenes in the movie, just have the T-Rex show back up again. And then the T-Rex does everything that the other dinosaur does, except you actually care because you already saw the T-Rex. But the mutant dinosaur's not been in the movie. It doesn't do anything. At least if it's the T-Rex, it can be like, I remember the little girl, I'm going to go after her again. It doesn't do anything. There's no reason for it to be a mutant dinosaur. It's brain dead and stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And so then, do they kill the mutant dinosaur? No. Does the mutant dinosaur get in a fight with another dinosaur? No! That, again, would have been interesting. Imagine if the mutant dinosaur attacked something, right? And they got in a fight with, like, a T-Rex. Or the Spinosaurus showed back up with the Mosasaur. And then they all get into a fight. But that... Some underboob there. That doesn't happen! Okay? Nothing happens. The little girl opens a door, and then they all run away, and the mutant dinosaur eats a helicopter? It's so stupid. I hate it so much. Anyway. didn't make any sense. In the books, right? Imagine this. In the books, the second book, the second Jurassic Park book, written by Michael Crichton, the follow-up to the wildly successful Jurassic Park book, that was the sequel was only written because they wanted to make a sequel movie, and for some reason they felt like, well, we got to have a source book to make a sequel movie. That's where they introduce. Okay, if you don't know, no, I'm not relaxed now. No, I'm like right now. I'm cooking up again, right? Like I feel the steam brewing here. Okay, if you didn't know. The reason Isla Sorna exists in the movies, because it doesn't need to. In the movies, you could just as easily take them back to Isla Nublar. There's no reason for there to be a second island. But the reason there's a second island is because in the book, at the end of the first book, they firebomb the island. The Costa Rican government rains fire down the island and kills all the dinosaurs, and that's the end of it, except not, because there's a little stinger at the end of the book that, like, looks like dinosaurs made it to the mainland. And it's just like and then that's just the end, but that doesn't really play a role in the second one. In the second one, he's like, we got to go back to Dinosaur Island, but I firebombed Dinosaur Island, so there's a second Dinosaur Island. That's what they do in the book, and that's why there's a second Dinosaur Island in the movie, even though it's not needed in the movie, it's needed in the book, because the original Dinosaur Island got completely firebombed. So there you go. There's the answer to that question, in case you were wondering it. That's what happened there. Now, in the book, in the second book, Carnotaurus can camouflage. Okay? It can, like, not necessarily turn invisible, but it can, like, model its skin like a lizard because of the different DNAs they used when they breeded them. It can kind of stand in, like, camouflage inside of leaves and things, which is really cool. So imagine the end of the fourth Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, okay? Hassan Piker and Black Widow reunite with a sailing family. And the bad businessman, because all businessmen are bad in these movies. Ignore the fact that these movies are made by businessmen. Bad businessman who tried to kill little girl. And honestly, I listen, okay, he did not try to kill her. He tried to stop her from calling for help, which would have got them busted for their illegal operations and compromised the business. So fully justified in stopping her from making that radio call. She fell off the boat. Not his fault. Oh, what, he didn't scramble out to get her when they're being chased by a mosasaur and Spinosaurus? Man, at this point, she's been kind of a nuisance anyway. What if she does fall in the water? Is it a great loss to anybody? I'm not, listen. So, imagine if everyone reunites in the city at the end, and instead of the pointless mutant dinosaur that doesn't do anything, and is just lumbers around for 10 minutes and eats a helicopter, just for no reason it shows up and it serves no purpose. Imagine if instead, throughout the movie, you as the audience watch Carnotaurus in the background. It's barely visible, and maybe you don't even notice it on your first watch. But on your second watch through the Jurassic World movie, you realize in the background you can sometimes see the shimmering mottling, like M-O-T-T-E, the mottling of this this camouflage Carnotaurus stalking them. And then finally at the end, it's a band. There's two of them in the Jurassic Park book, the second Jurassic Park book. You can have as many as you want, though. They show up in the city, and they're like blending in with the sides of buildings and things, and then they start attacking our heroes, and you're like, whoa! Carnotaurus! Let's go! Disney's dinosaur! Wow, it blends in with the gas station. That's so cool. That would be a really cool... Oh, also, there's like a mutated flying dinosaur that's crossed with raptors for no reason. It doesn't need to be there. There's so many... They have Quetzalcoatl in this movie. They have a real cool flying dinosaur. And there's a bunch of really cool flying dinosaurs that they've still not used in any of the movies, but they say, no, we're going to make new ones. Why? So, imagine if instead of all that BS, you just have Carnotaurus running around and blending in with things and jumping out at people, and the audience is watching, they're shoving popcorn in their mouth, and they're going, ooh, that was a little spooky. I didn't expect that to happen. That would have been good. But instead, we're just going to mutant dinosaur for no reason. So my position is that we get rid of the mutant dinosaur that doesn't need to be in the movie at all for any purpose whatsoever. Okay? I say we get rid of the mutant dinosaur, and then instead we get we get Carnotaurus, and we have and that's the other problem is that if mutant dinosaur, you could have I don't want the dinosaur to be a mutant. That doesn't serve the film in any way. It's unnecessary. I don't know where you got this delusion that the dinosaurs need to be mutants for people to care. Shh, this is new.
Looks like he left the village. Yeah. You think he'll be able to find all the fragments? If he doesn't, these past 5 years will have all been for nothing. Now that we know the location of the original Gestalt, the Shadow Lord, we have to stop his rampage. I can't believe the Shadow Lord ran off and holed up like that. I worry the shades who guard the key fragments will pose too much of a threat.
Well, they didn't say for NieR, but okay.
Maybe so. But we're pretty much out of options at this point. You having second thoughts, sis? No. The plan is all that matters. We must see the plan to completion. He is simply a tool to that end.
That's so odd. I'm hoping that these discussions help make things a little bit more clear. Because they definitely need us to be doing the things that we're doing, but then we get to a point where they try to stop us, and I don't know why. So I'm looking forward to finding out. So I don't need the mutant dinosaur. I don't know what idiot in Hollywood decided that was necessary, but if you're going to have the mutant dinosaur, at least have the dinosaur be stalking them throughout. Like, build it up. You just show it in the beginning of the movie, and then you just drop it until the end. It serves literally no purpose at all whatsoever. It's the most uninteresting character in the film, and it should be the main focus. It's the main dinosaur. At least they set up Spinosaurus. You know, no one likes Spinosaurus all that much in the third, because it kills a T-Rex, which it really shouldn't have, yeah. Would never happen in real life. But at least they set up Spinosaurus, like the airplane clips its spine, and then it hunts them. It's like out for revenge throughout the whole movie, and it's constantly stalking them. And they never outsmart it, and they never outstrength it. They always just kind of happen to get away. Barely by the skin of their teeth, right? So they set up this dinosaur really well throughout that film. And whatever criticisms you have of Jurassic Park 3, they set up the villain dinosaur. They just don't set up the villain dinosaur in Jurassic World Rebirth. I've been hearing people call it Afterbirth, and that's funny. Is this just the same scene with the brothers?
Where'd they go?
Yeah, okay, we've seen this before. This is the little kid. I think the Popola stuff is going to be the only new stuff. So you set it up early on. Have the Rex be chasing them, following them, trying to stop them, being a nuisance, and then you have the big confrontation at the end. You don't just drop it at the end, because then there's no investment in that dinosaur. Get rid of it. We do not need a mutant dinosaur. We don't need another mutant dinosaur. We didn't need the first one. We definitely did not need the second one, and the third one just suggests to me that you're all mentally deficient in Hollywood, and that none of you can write to save your lives. You're all hacks and idiots, okay? That's how I feel seeing a third and a fourth mutant dinosaur. Stop. Stop now. It doesn't serve the plot in any way. It's not interesting to the audience. There's no purpose for it in world. It's all just dumb, okay? It's all just dumb. And you can say that, oh, well, maybe what it is it was a failed early iteration of the Indominus. No one cares. No one cares. The Indominus Rex, that movie came out 10 years ago. That was in 2015. No one cares anymore, okay? What you do is you have them arrive on the island early on, and they're already being hunted by Spinosaurus, so you just have them either chase them through the island, or like I said, you go back to the books, you go back to the source material, you get the camouflaging, gosh darn, Carnotaurs, you have them stalk them throughout the movie, maybe pick off a couple of guys here or there, and then finally they get to the village where you realize it's their nest, and they've actually been driving the... Oh my, I'm writing a better movie while playing NieR. I'm writing a better movie. Throughout the entire movie, maybe you have... Because they've split up into two different groups. They're constantly being nipped at by these Carnotaurs who are chasing them through the jungle, and they're like, we just got to get to the village and we'll be safe. And then right as they get there, right at the end, they go, wait a minute. These guys... Wait a minute. They've been... Wait a minute. They've been driving us here this whole time. We thought we were running to safety, but they wanted us to be here because it's their nest. And then little baby Carnotaurs come out and start attacking them. Like, not little baby. They'd be like human-sized Carnotaurs. But they come out and they... Oh, how good would that be? And so you got the family running around, and you got little... you got like the big ones trying to like get inside of buildings, and the little ones get inside, and they're like wrestling them with like pipes and stuff. Such a better movie! It's not hard to make a good movie if you just try. If you just try a little bit, you can make a good movie. I know you've not done it in a long time, Hollywood. I know, Hollywood, you're really raising the question of whether or not you're capable of making a good movie, but I just made one right now. I just wrote you a script, all right? Send me money, all right? I'm not even a part of any stupid guild. You don't have to put my name in the credits, okay? There's your movie. Yeah, now... I liked the family element, separate from the mercenary stuff. I didn't care about that. That wasn't interesting to me at all.
It's a shame about the old
Sorry, I think we've already got what we needed here. I don't think we actually have to go through the rigmarole.
Sounds like you went into a dangerous area for the sake of the
So,
business.
the movie does a hard cut. The family is not set up in any way, and it's quite a ways into the movie when you hard cut away from the mercenaries and all of that, and you go back to, you go to, for the first time, this family. And they're sailing, and it's a dad and his 2 daughters, and one of his daughters is in her little rebellious phase. She's not that bad, but she's got this worthless boyfriend, who I went back and forth. Like, initially on introduction, I was like, I hate this guy. And then every so often he does kind of like a funny thing, but he's too, like, Gen Alpha quirky. You know what I mean? To the point where it was almost unbearable. So anytime he, like, did or said something kind of funny or did something kind of heroic, and I'm like, I'm back on sides with this guy, he'd almost immediately ruin it by just being a bozo. And I was like, I want this kid to get eaten. And if she's going to cry about it, have her get eaten as well. The dad and the youngest daughter get out, and that's fine. But them sailing, and then they see something in the distance, and you know immediately, you see the sail, you're like, well, that's a Spinosaurus. And then they get attacked by the Mosasaur. And we're going to go back and speak to Popola. We've never done that before.
Popola's found some information about the Shadow Lord.
Very well.
We'll go do that real quick. And maybe we'll get an additional scene with her. So I think that would have been... What did I just say? I completely lost track of what I was saying. Oh, yeah, you see the Spinosaurus sails, and they get attacked by the Mosasaur. And you're like, this is good. This is what I wanted from Dominion. When you set up the idea that humans and dinosaurs are coexisting in the modern age... You set up an idea that you didn't really deliver on at all. This is interesting. There's also a scene early on where a Brachiosaurus is dying in the streets of New York. It might have been a Brontosaurus. We had that discussion yesterday. And it's caused like a massive pile-up. And you're like, that's kind of fun. You know, I can live with that. That's kind of cool. Now, I like this, though. Family is sailing. They're like, there's so few dinosaurs. There's thousands of ships out here. The odds that we're going to come across one of these dinosaurs is so thin, so slim. But then in the distance, you see the Spinosaurus sail sticking up out of the ground. Then the Mosasaurus attacks. That's all kind of interesting. That's all kind of good. I like all of that. That's a great time. But then they're just with the... mercenaries who I don't really care about. They also don't set up... Like, I'm not invested in the lives of any of these individuals.
Hey, Sis. How goes the code breaking? Harder than I expected. It's going to take some more time. More importantly, how is the child who drifted ashore getting along? Right on schedule so far. I mean... We knew she was powerful enough to destroy an entire ship. But now she's grown even stronger.
So they know about, what did they name her? Louise? I think they called her Louise. Isn't that it? Or am I wrong about that?
There is one thing, though. She's started to obsess over becoming human.
What was the... What?
If that's a problem, we need to nip it in the bud. If the Shadow Lord resists the plan, we'll need her power to defeat him.
If the Shadow Lord resists the plan, we'll need her power to defeat him. What?
I know, Popola. I know. Jeez, relax, will ya? It's a fool's dream, and we both know it. She doesn't have a receptacle, so she can't become human, no matter how badly she wants to.
So yeah, so we know that Shades, we're going to talk about the game for a second here. We know that Shades, I guess, are disembodied spirits. They're the Heartless, basically. And they need vessels. They need replicants. So she's eating humans to become human, but that doesn't work. She needs a vessel. Does she not know this? How do they know about her? And why did they... whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the real thing that's important here, which is Jurassic World. I don't care about the... Like, the main plot is basically a subplot, and I don't care about it. I don't care about needing to go get all this blood.
Popola,
Ah, you're back.
have you learned anything more about the Shadow Lord's key?
I'm sorry, but it's going to take me some time yet.
I see. Well, can I take something off your plate in the meantime?
Oh, how about this? You know, well, he's been skipping out on... Can I ask you to go to see...
Sure thing.
Okay, cool. So we can go to Seafront and do that. We can sequence break here if we want to. We can go ahead and go to Seafront and do that instead of going to the Forest of Myth. Since we already did everything in that order last time, let's do things in a different order now. That should be fun and interesting, at least, to kind of break up the otherwise monotony of it all.
Alarmingly familiar.
It does, doesn't it? Like we've done this before.
I'm sure that couple is merely having another one of their inane spats.
Big
Let
Egg?
us do our utmost not to get dragged into it this time,
I need big eggs. I need big, large eggs. All right, other criticisms, other critiques. I was going to say I could just go ahead and write a better new movie now here, just off the top of my head, but I feel like we've already fixed the one they've got.
I knew it. This is what happens.
I feel like it would have been better if it had just been... First off, if you're going to do the plot about mercenaries, just set it in Dinosaur Valley. I think that's a better setup. They have to get Scarlett Johansson. I want to talk about Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is a fabulous actress. She's beautiful. She's talented. And she is so odd. I have to just account it up to directing. So this was directed by, I believe, Gareth Edwards, who, of course, directed Godzilla 20... Was that 14 that movie came out? When did the Godzilla movie come out? He directed an undetermined amount of Rogue One. Who knows how much. And now he's back for this. I have to blame him, because I know Scarlett Johansson is a capable actress, and she plays this role so strangely. All of her line deliveries are weird. I don't really know how to, like, phrase it. I don't know how to... It doesn't... Like, I don't know what her character is. I don't understand her character. She's such an odd duck. We've seen this already. I do like the scenes of him interacting with the Shade. I think that it's fun, but... We basically skip them all. We don't really need to watch them. And in fact, if the game would let me, I'd skip it already, but the game is not giving me that option, and that's okay. I think everything new is going to be Devil and Popola stuff, so no real point in, I guess, hoping for new stuff around these scenes. But yeah, I didn't understand. Now, here's a weird thing they do in the movie. The Hassan Piker character... It has decided that maybe he doesn't want to work with the multi-billion-dollar company to get the blood and create a serum that would save people's lives, because capitalism is bad and greed is bad, and wouldn't it be better to open source all of this? And I'm like, you know what? I actually do agree that patent law as it exists with medicine is severely flawed, and we should probably reform it. But also... Who's funding this expedition? Because Scarlett Johansson is like listening to him and being like, so instead of getting paid millions of dollars, we get paid nothing, and we give this, like, we open source all of the research and everything so that everyone can make the medicines. And it's like, that's great and all, Scarlett Johansson, that you're having this change of heart. But in order to do this expedition, you need to have a ship. And you hired your best friend, whose ship has now been wrecked, by the way, and the promise you made to him was that you were going to split the money with them. So now his ship's been destroyed, and a lot of his crew have died, okay? And now he's got to get a new ship, and he's got to rebuild his life, and he's going to do that on the money that you're making from this expedition, and you're considering dropping the millions of dollars and giving it away for free. Like, I respect the thought that everyone deserves, like, this life-changing drug, and we're going to open source it so that all the companies can make it and they can compete in the open market on price and value and all of that. Fine, fair, okay? But what about your friend? You're getting paid tens of millions of dollars for this. He needs a new boat. His just got wrecked. There's a helicopter coming to save you at the end of the movie that you've called in. Who's paying for the helicopter, Scarlett Johansson? If you go along with Hassan Piker's plan to open source the blood medicine, who's going to pay for the helicopter? Who's paying for your friend's ship? No one's having that. These movies want to have... They want to have the same level of... like discourse around them of the sort of the more ethical issues that the first Jurassic Park movie had in '93. Remember, the first Jurassic Park movie, people don't think about this when you watch the movie, but like 70% of the movie is not about dinosaurs. It's about the ethics of cloning dinosaurs, this thing that you can't control and that you don't understand, and chaos theory. And that's what makes that movie good. There's a lot to sink your teeth into. And every Jurassic World movie tries to do that, but it's being written by the mentally deficient, and they're incapable because they're incompetent and they can't write that. So they're like, they just have Hassan Piker be like, maybe we should open source the medicine. And in a well-written movie, right? In a movie written by someone who was not a hack fraud, Scarlett Johansson would be like, look, I agree with you morally, but I've got to pay these helicopter pilots. My friend, I brought him along. He crashed his ship. I got to get him a new ship. I promised to split the money with him. She'd be having an internal moral dilemma. She would be having a dilemma over what the best thing to do would be. Okay? But you can't have that. You can't have her have this dilemma because you can't write. And you're not capable or competent enough to figure that out. So instead, it's just like, oh, geez, do I want tens of millions of dollars or do I want to do the morally right thing? It's like, no, there's more to it than that. You have established, seemingly by accident, inadvertently, as an incompetent writer, you chanced upon making the situation more complex for yourself, and then you ignore the complexity. How hard is that? To look at your own script and say, you know what, there should be other reasons she has reservations. It's not just about wanting tens of millions of dollars to change her life and get out of this business that her partner died in. She's also got to take care of the helicopter pilots that she hired, and the guy, her best friend, whose boat crashed and his guys got killed. One of the best scenes in the movie is when in the background you see a Spinosaurus stand up and go into the water, and then it comes up from behind and eats a woman, right? I was trying to remember, like, who was that? Who was short-haired woman? Possibly lesbian woman. I don't know. She has that, maybe that sort of aura about her. Very pretty, by the way. I looked up the actress later. Like, very attractive woman, let me tell you. She just gets eaten. She's just dead. This movie does this stupid thing where people get, like, picked up by a dinosaur. They're fully inside the dinosaur's mouth. They're not screaming anymore. And the dinosaur's heading off with them. And all of the characters go after them yelling, Wilson! Whatever their names are. It doesn't matter. Girl! Like, what do you want them to do? They're currently in the mouth of the dinosaur. They're being eaten. Why are you yelling at them? What are you accomplishing? Also, no one can shoot in this movie. No one has the ability to hit a dinosaur. It can be 20 feet away. It can be 6 feet away. And people will shoot everywhere except for on the dinosaur. You know how you solve that if you're not an incompetent writer? Is you have a line that says dinosaurs have thick hide. At best, we're just like stinging them. And then you show them actually hit the dinosaurs with a little of blood come out and the dinosaur's like, "Wah!" But they're not really caring, right? They're not really, like, reacting all that much. And then you don't have a bunch of mercenaries who are so bad at their job they can't hit the broadside of a barn. Instead, you have a bunch of mercenaries who are really good at their job, and unfortunately, dinosaurs are just really tough to kill. But you don't do that, because you're incompetent, stupid writers. So you just have them miss constantly, and you have the ting of bullets all around the dinosaur, but never hit the dinosaur. Anyway, bad film. You know what? The more we talk about it, the more angry I am at this stupid, incompetent film. And the problem is it had potential. We've written 2 better movies already by either setting the movie in Dinosaur Valley from the end of Jurassic World Dominion, because that's a better movie, or replacing the unnecessary mutant dinosaur at the end of the film that has no role in the rest of the movie. By the way, hi Trace, welcome to the chat. You missed something. We're talking about the new Jurassic World movie. I watched it a couple of nights ago, and I hate it. I didn't hate it before. I said in the last stream that I didn't think it was that bad. And the more we've talked about it today, the more cooked I am. And the more I'm convinced this might be one of the worst things to ever come out of Hollywood. It's not good. So,
Hey there, Louis.
okay, let's brainstorm new movie. Let's stop complaining about how absolutely awful it is. And let's just, as a group in a live stream while playing a video game, let's just make a better film, okay? It's not that hard. You have to understand that everyone in Hollywood has apparently just had their nose against a paint can for the last 20 years, all right? And they're incapable of writing, okay? All of these buffoons and idiots, they can't write a good script. All we have to do is not be on drugs and not be mentally deficient. I think we can make a better movie, all right? They've decided that what they need is dinosaur blood to cure heart disease or whatever it was. Fine. Where are all the dinosaurs? Well, at the end of the last movie, they weren't all living around the equator. They were all in Dinosaur Valley. So the mercenaries have got to sneak past the United Nations to get into Dinosaur Valley. Much better movie. You get to Dinosaur Valley. He's got a map of Dinosaur Valley. He's like, this is the gap in their perimeter that we make a breakthrough, and we've already used satellite imagery or whatever to figure out where the dinosaurs we're looking for are located, and we're going to go we've got to hit here, here, and here, and then that's your movie. And then throughout the course of the movie, there's not an unnecessary mutant dinosaur that serves no role in the plot because it's unnecessary and serves no role in the plot. Instead, you find out early on that there are Carnotaurus. We're taking this out of the book. We're plucking it right out of the second Jurassic Park book because they've not done anything with this yet. This is a good little nugget of storytelling. The Carnotaurus can blend in with their surroundings, and there's two kind of big ones. And Oh, wait a minute. I just had another good idea. Okay, this is how this works. This is all you got to do, okay? You just got to drink the caffeine and have good ideas. I know you're not capable of it, Hollywood, but watch how it works, all right? Instead of having adult dinosaurs, adult Carnotaurus, ushering them into the nest like what I originally planned, instead, you have it be adolescents. So they're not quite kids, but they're not quite fully grown, and they're hurting the human. They're like chasing the humans, nipping at their heels, because the father or the mother Carnotaurus is old, okay? It's old. Yeah, because dinosaurs are smart, Gilliam. Yeah. Remember how smart the raptors were in the first movie? It's old and it's weak, and they're looking after their parent dinosaur. And you have this revelation later on in the movie, because they're like nipping after these humans, kind of chasing them throughout Dinosaur Valley. And then at the end, they get to the old Biosin complex, which is just a ripoff of the Apple circular, like, infinite loop park, whatever it's called. Apple Park? I think it's called Apple Loop or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. So they chase him in there where it's like mom is, and it like gets up and is like kind of weak and slow, but still pretty fierce, and it kind of lumbers after them. It can take the role of the big lumbering stupid dinosaur at the end of the actual movie. It can be the big lumbering but not stupid, just old dinosaur. This is such a good idea. And then the young ones show up also, and they start like just killing people. Like, talking dino, no, Gilliam, we're not doing it. This is not Barney. We're not doing Barney. Let's not get carried away here. Let's not go too far. All right, not that it's a bad idea. It's just not for this movie. So there's your better villain. You don't need a mutant dinosaur. You can just use the pre-existing material, and you can have, and then they get to like, okay, our extraction's coming up here, and then you realize like, oh no, they've been chasing us into their nest, and you don't have the family because you don't need it. You don't deserve the family. I think they watched the first Jurassic Park movie and they're like, you know the scene where all the characters you know and love split into two groups, and you follow what's happening at the complex and Grant and the kids, and then they were like, we need that. We need a split. We need a split plot. Right? We need two different parties. But instead of having one party that splits, like one party that you spend the entire first half of the movie getting to know and love before they split them up and put them in danger, they took this shortcut route of being like, okay, we'll set up these people you don't know or care about. They're just trying to get in there to get dinosaur blood. And here's another group. Halfway through the film, here's a second group of people you don't know or care about. They're just a family sailing. Oh, and we're going to put them together and then split them apart again. It's so incompetent. It's so stupid. It's so mind-numbingly dumb. All right, so here's what we do instead. You just get rid of the family, and you have the group, and then they split up. You invest. You get invested in this group of like mercenaries, right? I think I've called them assassins a couple times. You have this group of mercenaries. You get really invested in their lives. It's hard to get invested in mercenaries' lives, but you can do it. You can do it. You set them up really good, and then they get in, and then right early on, right when things are looking like it's going to be really easy, yeah, you split them up. So you've invested in these characters, and now you're upset that they're split into two different groups, as opposed to introducing two different groups, having them be together on a boat for 5 minutes, and then separating them again. Really stupid, really incompetent. Our movie is better already. All right, let's say you want it on an island. You don't want it to be in Dinosaur Valley for whatever reason. That's fine. You just set it on Isla Sorna. Oh, but in the outside extra materials from the in-world websites and whatnot, Isla Sorna has been abandoned. Okay, Engine lied.
What's going on?
I fixed your fictitious plot! Do you see how easy it is to just be like, oh, that information was wrong. Engine lied. They did actually keep doing stuff on Isla Sorna after the events of Jurassic Park 3. And, yeah, you know what? They don't have mutant dinosaurs because nobody cares about those anymore. It was good for one movie and unnecessary in the second one. You definitely don't need them in the fourth one. There's no mutant dinosaur, but Engine did have Carnotaurus And, oh, look, they have the ability to blend. It doesn't even need to be Carnotaurus. I landed on that because I knew an interesting fact about them from the book, which is the fact that they can blend in with their environment. You can make it any other carnivorous dinosaur. Make Quetzalcoatl the villain. I don't care. Just doesn't need to be a mutant dinosaur. And they chase them across Isla Sorna, and you can have a scene... Because you love your member berries in these movies. You love your member berries. You can have a scene where they walk through the fence that the mutated Spinosaur broke in Jurassic Park 3. And they'd be like, something big must have tore this fence open. They're like, yeah, but look at the corrosion on the chain links and everything. It must have been 20 years ago that happened. And then everyone looks directly into the camera. And then someone says, you mean when Jurassic Park 3 came out? Or, you know, you just little things like that. And so you can, not actually, though. But you do have the scene where they walk through that. And then that happens. And then maybe they find the little boy's bunker. They're like, looks like someone survived in here for a while. It's just fun little things for the audience to go, I remember that. I remember Isla Sorna. Yeah, I know what's going on here. And then maybe they find the remains of the Spinosaurus. Like, oh, actually, the Spinosaurus was in the TV show Camp Cretaceous. No one cares about your cartoon for children on Netflix. No, hard truth. Nobody cares. All right? Throw the whole thing into the wood chipper. It doesn't matter. Has no negative impact on the rest of the story. No one's going to miss it. All right? These are the realities of the world that we're living in. So, I fixed your movie. Okay? Delete this one. Remove it from the canon. It never existed. Call Scarlett Johansson. Tell her you've got a better director. Gareth Edwards, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Gareth Edwards. But it's just... You didn't do a good job. Scarlett Johansson is smart, she is beautiful, and you've messed up. But with her, all of her line delivery is weird and wrong. She's perfectly capable of delivering lines, and watching your film, I really didn't get the sense that she was a good actress. Gareth Edwards, why? What was your direction to her? Just read the line? Alright, even George Lucas would have at least said faster, more intense. I like Gareth Edwards. I thought he was competent. I liked Rogue One. I thought it was perfectly okay. A lot of people say that Gareth Edwards is really good at scale. He can make things seem big. And I have to say that that's got to be true. Because I've seen Godzilla, and Godzilla looks big in that movie. I've not seen... He made another movie called, like, Monsters or something like that. I think that's how he got the Godzilla gig. I never saw it. But in Rogue One more than any other film in the series really does make the Death Star feel and look massive. He does a lot of really interesting things with scale and perspective. So he's clearly good at what he does. Except in this movie, where I didn't feel like anything was that big. Right? Like, nothing felt overly large. You have the Titanosaurus, or whatever the massive sauropods are, and they look weird, and nothing looks real, and there's too many of them. That island would not sustain a population that size. You need to have maybe 12 at most, but the scene pulls back, and there's so many of them, and you're like... No. How many acres of forest do these things need to eat in a day to survive? And you're telling me this massive herd is surviving on this island? The best scene in the movie, hands down, and the scene that I would almost change nothing about, is the T-Rex scene. There's a lot of stupid things in that scene. The girl trying to get a inflatable raft past the Rex was infuriating. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, could you not have written a scenario where the character could have been smarter? Like, I understand you want this scene to play out this way, but maybe it shouldn't. Maybe you should do something different. Okay, it's very frustrating the way that they do this. Also, the scene where the raft, like, grows in size and obscures the T-Rex for a second and a half, and then when it comes back around, the T-Rex isn't there anymore. Silly. Absolutely silly nonsense. Okay, let's but whatever. The T-Rex chases them through the water, and it's almost a scene directly from the first book, and it's really good. I liked that. That was fun. The only thing I said I would maybe change is I don't feel like we need the family. Either we don't have the family at all, or the entire thing is the family, which I think is the more interesting thing to do. Make the entire film be about this family that at one point got, they were out to, like, imagine you start a movie, oh my gosh, look, okay, alright, so we've got the Dinosaur Valley movie planned out here. Now we've got family harassed by water dinosaurs, ends up on Isla Sorna, okay? Dad, you start the movie off with Dad, and he's like, you know, the kids don't even want to hang out with you, says the mom. Like, they'd rather stay here with my new boyfriend, Stan, or whatever his name is, okay? And you're like, Whatever. We're not going to go down there if we don't have to, because we already know that that's just like...
Would it not be wise
No, it wouldn't, Grimoire Vice. We're carrying on. We're progressing the plot if we can. We don't need to go through all these doors. We've seen it all before. So, you have a scene... we have the movie in Dinosaur Valley, and then we have the family go... We have a movie about a family... I'm sorry, I completely lost the thread of what I was doing because I've read the screen for like 2 seconds and my brain completely reset. Family movie. Dad's like, I just want to reconnect with the girls. You start with the family on dry land, and you don't even get a hint that it's a Jurassic Park movie, right? You just start with like, oh, girls, come on, we're going to go and have fun. What is he doing here? He's going with us, Dad. Like, you're bringing your boyfriend. Ugh, whatever. And then you show the whole thing, and they get in the boat, and they talk about how we used to be a happy family, and now we're not anymore. And then we're going sailing, and he's like, I just want to reconnect with you guys because I love you. You have all of this happen, and then you have them you have the exact same scene play out where the dinosaurs come and start attacking the boat, but this time he's like, oh, the boat's taking on water, and instead of having the boat flip over, he's like, I'm going to try to steer us towards that island over there, and they land, and it turns out they're on Isla Sorna, and it turns out InGen lied about dinosaurs getting loose on the island, and then maybe you have a plot where they're like, we have a problem. A family's landed on Isla Sorna. Oh my gosh, yes, hold on. If you want to have a movie where the family is there and you have the mercenaries, you have someone... You hard cut from the family landing on the island to, we have a problem. And, like, what is the problem? Like, a family's landed on Isla Sorna, and they're like, well, that island is protected by the government. There's not supposed to be any dinosaurs there, though. And if a family's there, and they're like, somehow they've been monitoring it. Maybe someone from a distance, maybe someone from, like, a watch ship or something sees it happen. They report it in. They're like, we have to get there. And we have to rescue them before the government does. Because if the government rescues them, they're going to find out that we've been doing secret experiments on the island in the old InGen lab. And they're like, oh no, who is this new evil corporation who's been doing secret experiments? Or whatever. And the dinosaurs are still alive there, and the family's trying to make their way across the island, and they're like, yeah, you can send them to kill the family, or you can send them to... It doesn't really matter how you approach it. That's even more interesting, though. A band of hardened killers sent to hunt down the family, and the twist at the end of the movie when they finally rescue them, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're saved. And they're like, yeah, about that. And they'll pick up their guns to kill the family, and maybe you don't even know. Maybe you don't even know that that's what they're there for. Maybe you just see a scene where they're like, we need a Scarlett Johansson to go to this island. There's a family that's been trapped there. We can't let the government find out what we've been doing on this island, so just go and deal with the family. And she's like, roger that. And throughout the movie, you have people asking her, like, are you sure this is what we want to be doing? Are you sure you're comfortable with this? Are you sure this is what we want to be doing? You know, you have all these sorts of little scenes set things up in that sort of a manner, in that sort of a fashion. And then at the end, right, she decides, like, I'm not going to kill this family. And they all turn on her, and then they all get attacked by the Carnotaurus, who have been like ushering them to this place where their aging parent is, who tries to then eat them. And then the only survivors are Scarlett Johansson and the family. She rescues them. They find out about the secret experiments on the island where they've been trying to breed more dinosaurs again, even though that's been outlawed. And then everyone survives, and Hassan Piker's not in the movie, and there's no need to collect dinosaur blood to cure heart disease or whatever, and it's a better film. And it doesn't have a third dinosaur island because you don't need three of them. You just needed the one. Okay? I understand why the second one was in the book, but you didn't need the second one in the movie. You could have just ignored that part of the book in the movie. If I had to remake the Jurassic World franchise, I would remake the first one. I would remake Jurassic Park exactly as it is, no changes, or just leave it as it is. And then for the second one, I would say, hey, we didn't firebomb the island at the end of our movie like they do in the book, so we don't need a second island. So everything takes place on Isla Nublar, and we never need Isla Sorna. But you know what? If we're playing in the world where the originals exist, and I'm just remaking this one movie, everyone goes to Isla Sorna. That's where the movie takes place. They have a change of heart with the mercenaries, or Scarlett Johansson does, and she's like, we're not killing this family who's barely alive. And also throughout the course of the movie, the dad shows himself to be willing to sacrifice himself for the family, and the daughter's like, Dad's not such a bad guy. And maybe at the end it seems like he dies. Maybe at the end he takes the role of the mercenary. He does the thing. Okay, in the movie, in the actual film, the actual fourth Jurassic World movie, the mercenary distracts the mutant dinosaur that shouldn't be there with a flare gun, because all dinosaurs are like, flare gun for whatever reason. Dominus Rex didn't care. This one does, and so he leads them off, and you think that he dies, but he survives, and they're like, "How'd you survive, Dad?" And I don't know what it is, because I've not written the whole movie, but somehow it's because of something one of his daughters told him or gave him earlier in the day. Like an arts and crafts project. Look, Daddy, I made this for you. Or are they telling, like, Dad, blah, 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 about dinosaurs. And he's like, remember that thing that you said earlier? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, it really worked. Or something like that. And he's like, oh, remember the shoes you gave me for Christ? Something like that, some sort of a family memento thing, and they all hug it out, and they're like, we love you, Dad, we love you so much. And even the girl's boyfriend's like, I love you too, Dad. And they're like, nah, whatever. And they all hug it out, and they're like, oh, peace in the family restored. And Scarlett Johansson is like, maybe there's more to life than money. And in the end of the movie, she goes and reconnects with her dad, and her dad is Ian Malcolm. One of Ian Malcolm's many children show and she goes, hey, Dad, life found a way. I like this movie so much better. Can we do this? Can we make this happen? Can someone buy the rights to the Jurassic franchise and make this better movie, please? I think this would be such a more enjoyable film, okay? My gosh. Anyway, that's my opinion on Jurassic World. Upon further rewatch, I actually do not believe that it is worse than any of the other Jurassic World movies, outside of the fact that it's kind of pointless and it is full of wasted potential. That's the actual sin that it commits, is it wastes its potential in a way that is disturbing and upsetting to me. So yeah, whoa, hey, easy does it there, girl, yelling about eating people. Here's the problem with this fight. It's another fight where, like, to talk about the game for a minute instead of Jurassic World, because my throat now hurts. I've gotten really upset over the course of this. This is another fight where there's a certain amount of dialogue that needs to be spoken before you're actually allowed to deal damage to the thing. So there's no point taking, like, buff potions or anything like that. There we go. Now we're allowed to deal actual damage. All the dialogue has been delivered, and we can now probably properly start defeating it if we want to. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Don't stop now. Focus on the next one.
We're working on it, but the game won't let me lock on. I've got no idea where I'm aiming. Okay, you can still kind of hit the body of it, but clearly you're meant to go after the tentacles. So once again, can't really deal damage outside of destroying the tentacles, because that's what the game wants me to do. Give me a second to just play the game. Give me just a second to play the game and let my throat rest, because it's all hoarse now and scratchy, and I'm still really upset. I'm still really upset. Gilliam, did you delete a couple of... I'm trying to figure out why these are grayed out. Did you delete your own messages in chat? Or were they blocked for some reason? Because on the Caster Labs, you've got two emoji that look like they're grayed out. Okay, you deleted. Okay. I wanted to make sure, because I wasn't sure why they were like grayed out, and I wanted to make sure they weren't being like censored for some reason. We'll draw no further attention to it. Man. You know what's sad is I'm not even that invested in the Jurassic franchise. It's not like it's my favorite franchise or anything like that. It's not like it's not Star Wars to me. Don't get me started on Star Wars. Actually, no, don't. Please don't. I could go off for hours on Star Wars or Bionicle for that matter. But before the release of The Force Awakens, there was this thing that people were doing where they were like, "Man, the prequel movies really suck. I bet I could rewrite them and make them better." And the problem is, unlike my perfect Jurassic Park movie that I just wrote, every version sucked, right? Like, everyone was like, here's my retreatment of Episode 1. Every single one of them was bad. There was one guy, I think everyone saw it, he did an Episode 1 rewrite that was kind of okay. It wasn't great, but it was kind of okay. And everyone was like, I can do that too, and everyone else's sucked and were terrible. And that guy went on to rewrite Episodes 2 and 3, and his episode 2 and 3 both sucked. They were both terrible. So even he, having successfully kind of rewritten episode 1, couldn't rewrite 2 and 3. I think there are a lot of people who think they're good at writing. They're not. I am, clearly. I've written a good Jurassic... You don't have to be good at writing to write a good Jurassic Park movie. You just have to not be incompetent. We just workshopped a better movie. Star Wars is more complicated. It's a more rich franchise, Star Wars. There's more going on than just dinosaur eat person. But yeah, all of the episode 1 rewrites basically suck. Except for one by a guy who went on to screw up episode 2 and 3. Now, you know what's an actual good retelling of episode 1, 2, and 3? Is the R.L. Knott's Star Wars. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on a stream before, but that's some of my favorite Star Wars content. I might like them more than the actual films at times. These guys, right? They take the original... sorry, they take all the games. They take all the games, but they... All the games. They take all the movies, and they basically do, like, new voiceover for them, where the plot is about the Jedi being, like, drug addicts, and constantly trying to find, like, new drugs to take and stuff, and it's pretty fun. And it's very funny, and there's some really funny lines, and C-3PO is, like, a horrible, like, psychopathic robot trying to bring about, like, a new world order for robots. It's funny stuff, man. It's funny stuff. How long until the end of the game? Well, we've done things a little out of order this time. Instead of going immediately to the Forest of Myth, we decided to instead come down here to the beach. So after this, probably immediately after this, we're going to have to go back to... Hold on. Let me focus. Because I got to break that. I got to break it before the time limit runs out. All of that missed. That's great. Well, hold on. Does attacking one attack the other? Hold on. I've got to focus on this very hard. There we go. Okay. Let me get this thing defeated, and then we're going to go back into how much longer we've got. Because that's going to require me to actually, like, concentrate and think about it. I don't think we can actually defeat this thing. If I remember correctly... Oh, no, apparently we can. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that this thing has to take... we had to take... Wait, hold on. I think every other time we fought this creature, in order to defeat it, we had to take the man hostage. This has never happened before. This is new. Wait a minute.
Now's your chance. Run, lad! Attack the part of her that looks like a girl.
Yeah, we've not done this before.
Watch your step, lad. Do not tumble into the sea.
Have we ever been capable of doing this before? I think we just never had the magic necessary to knock it out.
Shade's core is inside its mouth. Hurry!
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, gang. Hold on. Something new and intriguing is happening. We're going to take a white flower here.
Shit.
It's okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. We did it. We're doing it. This is fascinating. This I don't know if that's new for this playthrough or if we've just never been able to do it before. So we didn't even have to take the guy hostage like we had the last two times. I wonder if we could have avoided taking him hostage if we'd managed to actually... Because every time before when we've gotten to that bit where you have to shoot the head, I've been like, I don't have enough magic. Am I just going to lose? And then we end up with Kaine taking the guy hostage. The world is so full of beauty. So after this, Gilliam, to answer your question, we have to go back to Gideon, and he's going to send us on an adventure inside of the facility, which should be very fast. We're basically going to skip as much as we can. Then we have to go to the Forest of Myth, and then we have to go to the desert. And then we go back to the temple for endings C and D back to back. Now, are we doing all of that today? I don't know. I still have to record a lot of Minecraft content. At some point, I got to record the second part to Tech It. But also, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to make it, because I've been like ranting and raving about Bionicle. Oh goodness, hold on, let me check this.
Thanks. You really saved our bacon.
You've all done so much for me. Offering a little refuge. I don't have the words to We all knew townspeople, but I never imagined
The fault lies with that.
All right, there's somewhat...
Alright, so we've now already done both bits of dialogue here, where we told her the truth the first time and then lied to her the second time. And I think telling her the truth is the correct option, like both morally and within the context of the game. It's better to just let her know.
Your husband was killed by a shade. I'm sorry. We tracked him down, but it was already too late.
No, it can't be true. That big idiot. Always carrying his bag around. Thinking about me all the time. Oh God, this can't be happening.
It still hurts. It still hurts, man. I'm glad that we did it at least once, did the other option. Because she has some really good dialogue talking about how she liked their little spats and everything, and that was just a part of their relationship and how they communicated to one another, which is kind of toxic when you think about it, but that's fine. That's still it's a video game. They're not real. It doesn't matter what happens here, right? Like if everyone in this town ran around kicking dogs, that's not a great thing, but also it's a video game. No dogs would actually be harmed. It's important to keep within context. Because otherwise you might end up really developing anger towards these fictional characters, and that doesn't suit you at all. Now, where was she keeping that?
The hell's this, sunshine?
She didn't, read it last time.
That thing wrote it for the postman.
I wonder if she will this time.
Man, that is some grade A chicken scratch.
She probably copied the letters as best she could.
So, what's it say?
Can he not read? He can see that it's, chicken scratch. Didn't she throw it in the water last time? Wait a minute, that's weird. Several days later. Yeah, okay, I think this is different. Yeah, I don't think we got this last time.
It's like I was stuck in some kind of dream.
This is new.
Hey, letter guy.
Oh my gosh!
You're that. I mean, how can I help you?
Got a letter for you.
Wait, you have a letter for me?
What a crazy inversion to the natural state of things.
Yeah, it's from that thing on the ship.
Louise? Let me see. Oh, it says, thank you. Wow, look at this. After all that time I spent trying to teach her to write, she actually managed to string together a few ugly little letters. Damn it. Why can't I stop seeing her smile? Or hearing that song she used to sing?
Because it's still being played in the background.
I know she ate people.
No. You end the sentence there. You don't add a but to that.
I know she was a monster.
Just end it now. Also, I feel like you got those in reverse. It's she was a monster, and I know she ate people. You gave Luis's letter to the postman. I wonder if that's only possible by actually managing to defeat her without taking him hostage. I wonder if we could have gotten that cheeve earlier if we hadn't cooked it. That's really interesting. I had no idea that there was potential for the thing to play out differently, and I'm fascinated by it. How fun is that? Alright, back to town we go. I'm sure by now Popola's gonna have some words or thoughts. Surely we gotta check in on Popola. She's gotta tell us about Facade and all of that. And then also, we really need to hear from her and Devla about what she thinks about what we've done to the sea creature, because apparently they wanted that little girl in order, like, to use her power to defeat the Shadow Lord. Which also, if they were hoping to use her power to defeat the Shadow Lord and then we defeated it, that must mean that we're capable of defeating the Shadow Lord, right? It's one of those things where, like, not necessarily, because it might have had, like, weaknesses that we could take advantage of, but not the Shadow Lord, so we're more capable of defeating it than the Shadow Lord would be, but also that doesn't... Oh, we finally got a giant egg! We just need one more now to upgrade our weapon, I think. But then also, we couldn't defeat the Shadow Lord because he doesn't have those weaknesses. You can make the argument that, like, being able to defeat one does not mean you'll be able to defeat the other. You know, like Luke being able to... Darth Vader being able to throw the Emperor over the edge of a balcony does not mean that Luke being able to defeat Darth Vader would mean that he'd be able to defeat the Emperor. It's one of those sort of situations where it's like a... It's like a triangle. It's like a RuneScape, you know... melee beats archery beats magic beats melee sort of a situation.
That poor ferryman used to tell me stories of the epic quarrels he had with his wife. He found the whole thing quite amusing.
They loved each other.
He loved her, though. He loved her with all that he was. I'm very sad to hear that he's gone. Still, you made it back safe, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah, but, like, you two are going to have a conversation when we leave this room, right? That we haven't heard before?
By the way.
Thanks.
Oh, one last thing. Since the ferryman was...
Yeah. New ferryman. He was excited about that. Really? Maybe when we walk out the door. Let's see what happens when we walk outside. I'm assuming they're going to have a conversation about this at some point. No! Really? That's weird to me. That's strange to me. That's concerning to me. Also, I think our current batch of white flowers is the final batch we'll ever be growing. Because, how many... Let's see, I think we've used one so far, right? So we shouldn't really be able to collect another one, I don't think. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and replant another one just in case. I'm going to use flowering fertilizer. I don't think it speeds it up, but it keeps it in a harvestable state longer once it does, in fact, grow. So, yeah, after this, remember when we go through ending E... We have to basically start over entirely from the beginning. I think all quests and everything reset, and might even be different. We'll see. But I don't think our farm progress carries over. You have to start a whole new save in order to get ending E. So, we're going to move down here and save here. Alright, so I guess now we've got a couple of different options. We can go to get our letter, and then we have the option to go to Facade.
The king is getting married.
He is! Maybe his wife won't die this time, or maybe we'll get more context for it. So that's clearly been set up. But also we can go to the Forest of Myth if we felt so inclined, and knock that out real fast. And then at some point, we've got to head back and talk to Gideon. Should we go do... You know what? Let's do the entire thing out of order. Let's do the whole thing out of order. Let's go to the desert now. We've never done it like this. We might even leave the Forest of Myth to be the last thing. I say that like we've done this run 100 times. Like, you know, like, oh, you know, every single time. This is the third time. We've done everything in the same order twice, and that's it. It's hardly this, like, super well-established thing, right? Let's head down here and chat with this individual and see if they'll take me to the desert. Okay. Let's see if he has that same weird line about there being too many shades running around for him to take us home via the desert river. The Sandy River, or whatever it's called. Because that was a line he gave us last time that we did not have, like, any understanding of. It's like, what? Sorry, you can't take us home the normal route. Why? Yeah. We know. We know about the wolves. We've got to be careful. We might get new scenes now. We know that. We definitely want to be weary of it. We don't want to miss them, but at the same time, we don't want to rewatch things we've already seen 100 times. We're going to beeline. I see the gap right ahead. If I just go straight, we'll go right into the village. That's all we've got to do. We're not going to veer to the left or right. We're not going to deal with wolves or scorpions or anything. I'm not doing any attacks. I'm not doing any defenses.
In the desert.
Should it?
I think when I was shouting earlier about Jurassic World, I think I actually did.
Well,
I think I did wear out my vocal cords. Because I feel like speaking now is a struggle. I also think that took all of my energy out of me. I think I'm basically done for the day at this point. I've got to go record a bunch of Minecraft videos after this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I got no clue how I'm supposed to go do it. And how am I supposed to explain in the Minecraft videos? Like, listen, if you watch me live, you'll know. I started off a Minecraft video the other day. It hasn't come out yet. I've still got to edit it. But it, like, opens with Battlefront 2 content. Because I thought that would be fun. So, I'm trying to crowdsource help on getting the game to run in ultra-wide. It just might not. Not all games can be made to run in ultra-wide. But Battlefront 2, like the classic Battlefront 2, I can't get it to run in ultra-wide. It won't launch if I try to, like, force the game settings in Steam. So, trying to figure that out. Not working for me. Oh, this is where we get, like, a big character reveal about, well, we're still not quite sure what the big character reveal is, though, is the problem. Zoom through all of this as quick as we can. We find out that Emil... Well, I'll play back the dialogue. We've interpreted it in, like, the plain-faced way, but I don't know if maybe we're misunderstanding it. The night before the wedding, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Not even Kaine.
What's it?
Do you think Kaine will wear more clothes for the wedding?
Yeah.
I hope not. We have another costume to put her in as well. We haven't seen her in the, what is it, 2A and 2B? Or something like that. Or 1B and 2B? I don't know. We've only had her in one of the outfits. We'll need to look at what she looks like in the other one eventually.
Yeah, that's not exactly it.
Oh, I skipped through the dialogue I said we were going to listen to. I think Emil might be batting for the other team, so to speak. We've seen all of this before. He's worried about the condition of the world. Things are pretty dour and depressing. Society's falling apart. We don't know where all this sand is coming from. Why won't the sand stop? It just keeps flowing. It makes no sense. Endless sand. Okay, dead wolves. All the wolves were killed. Big sad. Okay, and here we go at the wedding.
Aw, weddings are the best.
Shut up, Emil. No one cares about your opinion.
Everyone's happy.
Do you think that we're, like, causing a lot of disruption by running through here?
Aren't you
Interrupting the wedding dance?
Oh, come on.
How come some of them wear, like, plates on their heads, and some of them wear the big masks? And what is the difference? Right? Is it like a gender thing? They're both wearing, like, the pointy masks, so it's hard for me to tell. Or maybe, like, people with plates on their heads are those guys, and people with the big, like, pointy cone hats are those the gals? We'll have to wait and see the soldiers, because I think all the soldiers are fellas. If they're all wearing plates on their head, we'll know that that's the reason for it. Listen, we know what happens here. This is one of those I'll never skip the cutscene again sort of moments where you skip the cutscene and suddenly there's wolves. It's like, wait a minute, what happened? What did I miss? Something weird. This is another one as well though where you can't fight the bad guy until he said all of his lines about atoning for blood and all of that. You gotta let him say his bit, because if you throw that at him now, it just doesn't do anything. Oh, okay, there we go. See, now we can attack him. And we should be able to finish this real quick. Yep, there we go. Because we can't actually defeat him. We're just going to get to this. He howls and they all leave. And his wife is dead. Look, that's where she was. That's where Fira was. Head for the Forest of Myth. Go check, see... Okay, go... Oh, wow, interesting. So I guess we now know that the younger brother is probably done with his work. We can go to the Forest of Myth, or we can wrap things up here. Well, we're already here. We're not going to leave. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. It's not that involved. We might actually make it to this, at least ending C today. What time is it? It's not even 2 yet. Actually, at the rate we're going, I want to say we might... there's a lot to do. It depends on how much more Devla and Popola stuff we get. It depends on how extensive the Devla and Popola stuff is. I was going to say we could probably by 3 wrap up the game if we wanted to stick with it. Not the ending E, but like endings C and D. Depending on how much we're willing to like aggressively skip content. I had a message. I had a question. My father asked me a question, and I responded, and he has not messaged me back again, and I need him to, because that's gonna make a difference. What he says here. Yep, we're all gonna go out and fight. It's a beautiful thing. We're all gonna go confront the wolves. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna confront them. We're gonna fight them. We're gonna fight them in the trenches. We're gonna fight them on the beaches. We're gonna go fight them in their weird little. How did they get the water here? Are all of these structures in the desert supposed to be fountains? Why is there flowing sand? I have so many questions. Do I need to buy the guidebook? I don't know. I read an entry from the guidebook. It's got some smut in it, man. It's got a really interesting story about Kairi. Not Kairi. I keep calling her Kairi. Kaine. And what she does on a night after she kills a bunch of shades. I don't know if I want that in my library. Could be funny to read, though. It could make for a funny story, actually. We might consider getting that. It's expensive, though. I was looking at it at Barnes & Noble. It was like $40. I think you can get it on Amazon for $20. Come here, you. Unfortunately, we can't damage this guy. Even if we, like, shoot him directly. We have to fight all the wolves on the ground first.
He seeks the King of Facade. Such dogged, unwavering defiance. Why do these beasts hold so much rage?
I'm tired. I'm exhausted now. I'm exhausted.
But as for the leader, if even one shade.
Man, okay. I think I could, like, we've done really long streams before where we've gone for like 6 hours. We did that one really long Zelda stream that one time. And that's fine, and I can keep that up. But we got a little too, I think we got a little too aggressive. We're talking about Jurassic World earlier. It took a lot out of me. My throat kind of hurts now. Alright, are you done? Can I just, like, really quickly defeat you, please? Can we just be done with this? There's no point, I just realized, in upgrading our weapon again. Because, like, it's already super OP. And we're not having any issues with difficulty here. Maybe we should have upped the difficulty. Maybe we should be playing on hard now. Those were my very words, human. How does a shade wolf exist? I don't understand how... Okay, so all of this we've seen before. I don't understand how a shade wolf can exist. We've gotten this scene before as well. Got the fragment. Grandfather. You defeated Rock within 3.5 minutes. Wow, look at us go. I didn't even know that was a chief. Indentured servitude. No useful new information about her or her life, sadly. Alright. I think we should be able to take the ship back home. Yeah, I think we're going to go and check for... Let's end it in with the brother, right?
Popola said we might be able to find...
You will forgive me.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Forest of Myth first. And we're going to go check in on Gideon last. We're going to end things there. I think the boat will work this time because the bit of dialogue we had last time heading back to town, we only had as a result of the fact that we were about to go to the Shadow Lord's castle again. Yeah, so we can absolutely go ahead and head to the Northern Plains using the boat this time. And we'll go to the Forest of Myth, and then we'll go back home, and then we'll get the letter from the younger brother, and then we'll go talk to the younger brother, and then we'll go back to the temple, and we'll go have Ending Sea. Which should be unlocked ooh. Oh, I forgot to make sure I had all the weapons. We'll need to look up like a weapon checklist and just make sure. The game gave me an achievement for having all the weapons. So why do I need to get a weapon checklist? You know what? We'll save the game. And if we get into the ending and we don't get ending C, we'll know it's because I didn't get all the weapons. No, because then we'll have to do it all again. And it's not that fast. Like, even once you just run through the gosh darn... you run through the gosh darn place. The lost... What is it called? The Lost Shrine. Even by the time you run all the way to the top, you still have a bunch you have to do afterward. You have to deal with, like, riddles and Popola and all of that. Yes, 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 yes. Now we go talk to the tree, because the tree is listening. Are there eggs in this forest? No, but there's berries. An awful lot of berries around here. What are we doing with all these berries? Okay, so now this is possibly one of the least interesting things that we can do in this part of the game. But it is over quickly. So all we need to look for... This is not how it's supposed to be. The plan has failed. Everything in the tree is any of this new. Memories collected like dew and thick leaves. Joined together to form colonies. Memories. The child is here. I don't think any of this is different. I'm going to check every couple of lines to see if anything is different. Her very presence is a comfort to him. Yep, 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 yep. Oh, you know what? We forgot to check what color is the pill of envy or whatever. The girl disappears. The boy dies. Etched upon it is a single word, envy. It asks the question, what color is envy? It doesn't say here, does it? It just says the tree scoops up this memory and carefully stores it within itself. Etched upon it is a single word, envy. Look at my memory, female warrior. This is the one we got to remember, because this is the one where her friends die. And we got to know the number of her companions, 63. Got like 3 screenshots now of the number 63 and 26 or something along those lines. All right, I'm ready to answer the questions. Take me to the questions. All of this is the same. All you can see is a few crystals scattered about haphazardly. Yep. And then a shade's going to show up and start eating the crystals. And we're going to attack the shade, and the crystals are going to spill out on the ground, and the tree's going to say, this is good. What color was the envy? It was brown. Yep, there we go. 1,000 years alone, longing centuries, heart sealed. The young lady is the key, the promise made long ago. She had 63 friends. I don't even need the picture. I can remember that. The key, cried the boy. Most important thing in the world is Yona. And we're done. We finished the Forest of Myth, everyone. We did it. Again, the very first time the Forest of Myth gives us this... this sort of like old school text-based adventure quest. It was kind of fun and interesting, and then every time after that I was like, I don't want to read this stuff again. And especially now, because each playthrough, that's the 3rd time we've gone through there with the exact same bits of dialogue. We're gonna go check and we'll go speak to Popola again.
Maybe Popola's found some information about
yeah, we'll go drop by the village, but also here you go. No, we don't actually need to talk to him again. No reason to go talk to him again. Let's save to verify that we don't have to come back here and do this again. There we go. I'm not looking forward to the E playthrough, because I'm assuming the E playthrough, the first half, we're going to have to come back here and do a very similar thing to the first time, where we go into people's dreams and it's all text-based, and it's a lot of reading. And it's not, look, I don't hate reading or anything. Reading's great. I love a good bit of reading. But, tell you what, going into all those different dreams, it does get a little tedious. Onward! Do you think they'll re-release this game again for like the 30th anniversary or the 40th anniversary, and it'll have even more endings? How many endings is too many? Like, at what point do you get at what point do you reach where there's too many alternate endings, and it's unreasonable to expect people to do them all? The game by itself is rather short, and I'm kind of okay with the idea of replaying the second half multiple times. 26 endings is the point that you reach, Gilliam. That's fair. I'm kind of okay with the game having multiple different endings, and I'm okay with it having you replay the second half. But I do need it to be more different than it currently is, because as of right now, you see me skipping through things that I can tell are not new. I need it to change a bit more to keep each time engaging. Because right now, we really are just running through the exact same plot beats again and again, as quick as we can, looking for like tiny little nuggets of new things.
Learned anything new about the Shadow Lord's key, Popola?
You know, I was just going to talk to you about that. You remember the area?
I forgot about the Airy. Again.
That depressing shell of a village?
Not so much anymore, it sounds like. I just got this letter from the village chief. Have a...
That's weird looking. On the ceiling. Need to go investigate that. Yep. Chief's opening up the village.
That's right. I've been trading notes with leaders from every... I'm...
And now they've not...
I agree.
You're overthinking. I won't get Yona back by just sitting there.
Well, try speaking...
Okay. I'm about to have to do a pause on the stream, but we now have the Airy optional. I was assuming we would get another Devil and Popola bit when we walked outside. Hopefully with more information about the Airy. There's a lot of loading going on here.
The Airy, huh?
For something that has nothing to... Okay. Alright, I wanted that to be more interesting than it was, and it wasn't. And that's okay. Let's go get the letter from the brother. Or at least we should have a letter from the brother. Really? I guess you have to specifically say we're going to go check for that letter in order to get the letter. That is disappointing. That is deeply, deeply disappointing. Alright, I've got to go do something real quick, so I will be right back. Everyone sit tight, and I will return. All right, I am sorry for that extended leave of absence. My parents, I've been converting my home over from having central AC to mini splits, and I've ordered the last 2 units, and they've arrived. I had them shipped to my parents' house, and they brought them over because I needed to make sure someone would be present to sign for them, and I figured the easiest way to do that would be to send them to a home where there's always at least someone there to sign for them. So they brought them back over to me, and I had to help them unload them and everything. But home ownership, man, great stuff. I just had to buy this big whole home dehumidifier because a problem that I've run into with this, well, like, this is maybe interesting to some folks, but the problem I've run into with converting from a central AC to a bunch of mini splits is that even if you get the smallest units that are available and they're inverter driven so they can scale up and down, based on load requirements, even when they're all scaled all the way down, they're still too efficient at cooling the air, which means that they don't have the time needed to remove all the moisture. So the humidity's been kind of high in the house. And that's been causing problems. Now, I haven't had any, like, horrible mold outbreaks yet. But what I have had is, like, the walls or that clearly the drywall has too much moisture in it, and it's causing some weird issues. That at first I thought was like, oh no, are there more termites? I start picking at my walls and drilling holes. I'm like, there's no termites in here. What is this?
We do not desire.
We've seen this before as well. Come to find out that no, in fact, it is just too much humidity. Like looking up your symptoms and finding out that humidity is a big cause of problem for like drywall and for paint and things. So, and yeah, I got a bunch of humidity sensors all around the house and started kind of trying to keep track of it all. And I was like, yeah, humidity is too high in some places. So I got this big whole house dehumidifier that is temporarily going to be set up just kind of in the middle of the house. And it's got a pump, so it's not just gravity draining, it actually pumps water out, which is nice. But the plan is to kind of have it central in the house, just dehumidifying, and then eventually move it into the attic and take advantage of all the existing ductwork from the old central AC system to duct dried air all around the house. And you might think, well, Reese, what have you accomplished by getting rid of the ducted AC and going to a ducted humidifier? What have you done? Not much. Outside of now being able to specifically have certain rooms be colder than others, like I like my bedroom very, very cold. So being able to have it very, very cold at night without having to cool down the entire house is still a bit of an advantage. They're still way more efficient than my old system. There are ways I could have achieved that. I could have gotten a bunch of electric dampeners in the ducts and everything, and, you know, just ducted cold air to certain rooms at certain times of the day. But when you look at kind of the cost of, like, okay, well, I do need a new unit because my outside unit is aging and not performing well anymore, and it's not the sort of thing a tune-up's going to fix because it's quite old. And then you look at the cost of getting all these dampeners, and then I had a bunch of ductwork that was just, it's going to need to be replaced. I say reuse the ductwork. I basically mean reuse the registers. The actual ducts themselves, some of them are missing massive patches of insulation, and so you crawl up there and they're just sweating, like when the central AC was running, because it was just like leaking cold air into the attic, and it's a whole nightmare, it's a whole mess. But real quick, before we do this, let's go ahead and double check, because I don't think we'll ever be able to trade with these individuals again. Nothing there. What do you sell that's interesting or potentially worthwhile? Bounty fertilizer. We genuinely just don't ever need more of that. Thank you for your offer, though. What have you got? Oh, I see a couple of things I like on your menu. I don't need, I mean, I've already got an eggplant, but, you know, let me see what you've got here in terms of, yeah, give me one of those and one of those. Top back all of our medications before we head off into combat with this fella. Anyway, that's a whole lot of information about mini splits and dehumidifiers that none of you asked for or wanted, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Just as an explanation as to where I went for 5 minutes. I've gone off on this whole tirade. No, it's not even a tirade, it's a tangent, is the word that I'm looking for. We went off on an entire tangent for no real reason. I hope that you've enjoyed it. But there you go. If you're wondering about the termites, if you want a termite update, because we've been dealing with the saga of the termites for a while now, what we have learned is that at the exact moment, I think they're all dead. I went outside to where the termites are supposed to be, where the termites have had their little termite chutes going up into the house. All the chutes are gone. I think they got washed away in the last rainstorm. That happened not too long after the termite treatment. So there was a little rainstorm. I think their little mud chutes got wiped out, and they're all dead. So they didn't rebuild them. They have not yet rebuilt them. So, which is good. That is a thing that can happen. Even though it can take several months to kill them all, that doesn't mean it's going to. There's plenty of reports of people getting the fipronil treatment and the termites are just gone. So I'm thinking maybe at some point in September, I'm going to start taking I'm going to start with the trim that I know is damaged, because that's where I found them. I'm going to remove the trim from the wall and inspect the wood behind it, and then selectively remove segments of the wall. Right where I know they are, I'm pretty sure we're going to need to do some work. But I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to go off to the sides until I find no more termite damage, and then we're going to stop there. Because the original idea that I had was like, I can just demo that entire wall. I can go ahead and demo the entire wall, and then we can go ahead and like do all new insulation, run electrical and stuff. And I'm like doing calculations to see how much all of this is going to cost me. And it's just a lot of money, is what I started to realize. Because I wanted to go all out. I figured if I'm going to have the wall open, I might as well take this opportunity to rewire, add a whole bunch of new outlets. Well, not a whole bunch of new outlets. Basically 3 new outlets. Add like a sub panel to my room. Do all this different stuff. And I was like, man, I don't have this kind of money right now. We're not doing this. We're going to do the necessary repairs to make sure that the house remains structurally sound. We're going to do the repairs. We're not doing a remodel right now. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. When I finally get around to creating my magnum opus of Minecraft content, and we get billions of views, and all the sponsorship dollars start pouring in, we'll remodel the entire house and we'll make a series out of it. How about that? How about we all just plan for a future where I finally stop being lazy, and I just start pumping out Minecraft tutorials, and we make $1 billion, right? Because that's all you got to do. Just got to pump out your Minecraft tutorials. I don't want to. It's soulless work. I don't want. I just want to play NieR. I want to play NieR, and I want to rage against the. Dinosaurs. Boom. He's dead. All right. Give me the giant eye. I'm ready. I am ready. That's all we've got. Wait. Hold on. Oh yeah, we did just do facade. So once we're done here, we just head over to the brother, and then we. What time is it? 2:10. I did take a pretty large break, so I don't know about my original estimate of when we were going to be finished, but we might pull it off. Come on, look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Is this the combined power of all those
Cast your gaze downward. We've got to finish this before it's midnight for Gilliam, because we got to make sure Gilliam goes to bed at a reasonable hour. We can't keep him up late. We've done it before, we're not doing it again. We've got to be respectful. I'm attacking the eye. I'm being aggressive. Okay, we've got to wait. There's a story beat happening. And I still...
Wait! I think those are actual people!
Hold nothing back. Those are shades.
What people are we talking about here? I've never understood that bit of dialogue where he said that. I think those are actual people.
The surrounding tentacles appear to deflect magic.
No need to teach tomorrow? Oh, well, great. Never mind, then. We're keeping Gilliam awake. Let's go. It's going to be great.
Magic on the beast's center.
Okay. Now we got to jump up on the Hydra's back. And we're going to actually do it this time. I think in the past they've given us that bit of dialogue and we've kind of just ignored it. Or not heard it or not paid attention to it. But now we know what needs to happen next. Yeah, all of this happens. I've got it. Don't worry about this, Emil. Maybe. I think Emil's going to keep it distracted.
Its weak point is located around the back.
Yeah, no, we figured that out already. We've got this sorted. Don't worry about me.
I'll try to pin it down!
Emil!
You're doing great work, Emil. You're doing God's work out there. Keep it up.
Emil!
I'll keep it busy. You should be able to attack from behind.
Yeah, I gotta figure out where the other ladder is. There it is.
Please, hurry!
I like that Kaine's seemingly lifeless body is just lying there. I've said it before. They kill Kaine so many times in this. They kill Kaine so many times, it like means nothing. You run past her corpse, it's like whatever.
You must strike it in the eye.
Oh, this is weird. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, they stop moving when we stop moving. How did I not notice that before? Why did I not realize we could matrix dodge these? Hold on, let's not die. Take a moonflower.
Did we get it? It is escaping to the inner level.
I'm coming. Gotta catch my breath.
Okay. I'm not sure about that line read there.
Won't help anyone if we lose you here.
Let's go. Smooth moves right there. big time saving. I'm holding on to all this. I'm hopeful we don't get a cutscene that causes me to lose all of this.
We beat the hell out of that thing. How can it still move?
Wait, what just happened?
Powers are beyond even my greatest suspicion.
What just happened? Okay, well, whatever. We'll wait for magic to reload. Can I damage it yet? Yeah, okay. So we can finish it off. Wasn't sure. You never know. You gotta be mindful of these sorts of things. Working on it. Okay. So now I think we just have to fight these guys for a bit. It looks like all of its health is gone. I don't think there's any advantage to me continuing to, like, shoot it. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Buddy, that would have been a bummer. I don't know what would happen. I imagine it'd get some health back and we'd have to, like, take it down again. Okay, we know what happens here. Like, this is a cool cutscene and everything, and Emil, like, eviscerates it and destroys the entire village, but we've seen it twice. Devila and Popola?
Emil.
It is a dream of a beast, a record of tragedy, an indelible sin. Enter Emil's memory? Nah, we've seen that before. We've been there, we've done that. And we've seen this before as well. And we've obtained a fragment. Devila and Popola?
We had best be all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You defeated... I'm sorry, Wendy? Within 3 and... I'm sorry, Wendy was its name? I guess it was his sister. So that entire giant eye creature was that boy's sister. What a shame. What a deep, deep shame. So, was that a village... Like, I'm still trying to figure that village out. Was that a village that was full of replicants that had successfully been inhabited by shades? Because that's the goal of a replicant, is to be possessed by... Like, the purpose of a replicant...
Junkie kid sent us a letter.
Yeah, we'll go do that. The purpose of a replicant is to be inhabited by a human soul. So, presumably, the goal of a shade is to inhabit a replicant. Is that what happened back there? Is that what occurred? Hard to say. Also, do we really need to go check and see if we got a letter? Can't we just go check on Junk Kid? Like, I know darn well that if I try to go check on Jump Kid, it's not going to work. Because the game is going to tell me that, you know, oh, no news yet. I'll send you a letter, and then we'll have to come back to town and go get the letter. So, also, there's... I keep saying I want to upgrade my weapons, but we're at a point now where if we upgrade it one more time, all that is gained is that we have a stronger weapon for the final boss fights that we're about to go partake in again, which is a shame. How many of these have we had? I think just the one. We're going to replant them, just in case, but I do not believe that anything carries over unless I'm mistaken. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want it to be the case that everything carries over. But I think all of your previous saves are deleted, and you do start over from scratch. Which is a shame. Water. Get that plant growing. Those last batch over there are out of sync with these, because those are my seed batches. Actually, I will let these wither and die so I can collect the seeds and replant with them.
You have a letter, it would seem.
Inform me that the upgrade work on your weapon has been done. So, our weapon has been yet again upgraded. We're going to yet again save. We're saving frequently. This is the final thing, unless we've forgotten something, because I keep forgetting something. Last time, I forgot about the whole situation in Seafront Village, or whatever it's called. Is it called Seafront? It's called something like that. Ocean Town? Ocean Water from Sonic. Mostly sugar. Pretty good. Bit of coconut flavoring. Not good for you. Will rot your teeth. Will rot your mind. Does make me feel diabetic. There are certain foods that I eat, and I'm like, am I diabetic at the end of them? We got this, I went and got, with my niece, there's this cookie place that she likes to go to. And we went and got these humongous cookies. And I ate one of them, and I was like, well, we each got 2. So I waited a bit, and I was like, I feel okay. I'm going to go ahead and eat my second cookie. And afterward, I just leaned back, and I was like, I think I'm about to slip into a diabetic coma. She's like, you're not diabetic. I'm like, not yet I am, but probably soon if I keep this up. Goodness me. I was like, oh, I want to sleep, but I don't feel right. I don't feel right. Oh, something's not right in my body. Man's not meant to do this. Goodness me. Good cookies, though. Pretty good cookies. I love a cookie. I might be a bit of a cookie fiend. Cookies might be my favorite dessert. I think if you asked me when I was younger, I would have said probably candy bars. And then moving into more adolescence, probably brownies. At no point has it ever been cakes. Because even the best cake, like even if you get a really good cake that's like moist, but not too chewy. It's got a good consistency, a delicious icing, whatever the flavor is good. Even that, I'd rather just have a cookie.
Hey there.
Just give me a cookie.
Your weapon is ready to go.
Thank you so much, Gideon. I appreciate it.
You know,
Yep. Stuff. I know. Let's talk about maybe strengthening our weapons. Let's see what we can do. So, apparently we cannot upgrade the Earthworm's Claw, which is fine. I don't think we want to. What are we on right now? Phoenix Dagger, and we've got Ancient Overlord. I think we wanted to upgrade Phoenix Dagger, didn't we? Because at level 1, if we can get it to level 2, it's about as good as the one we've currently got. What about Fool's Embrace? It's a little ways behind there. What we're currently using is the... are we using Phoenix Dagger? Which one do we currently have wielded? I don't even know what we're wielding anymore. I thought we had one that was a level tier 2. What is our current blade? Blade of Treachery, Faith, Phoenix. Cruel. What is our current... Hold on. I got to get out of this screen. Currently, we've got an iron pipe. How long have we been fighting with an iron pipe? Genuine question. How long have we been fighting with an iron pipe? Beastbane is what I'm thinking of. It's level 4. It's maxed out. So, Beastbane is what we should have. I don't know why we had an iron pipe equipped. I have no clue. But Beastbane is what we've been meaning to fight with. Forever? No, we haven't. Surely not. I know we've had Beastbane for a while. I don't remember switching to Iron Pipe. It's kind of funny. We've got Beastbane. It's maxed out. Great weapon. Love it. And what we wanted to do was take Phoenix Dagger, because it's... no, not Phoenix Dagger. Which one? Which one of these was, like, almost as good out the gate? Well, shoot, now I don't remember what I wanted to do. I thought what we wanted to do was upgrade Phoenix Dagger a couple of times and get it past Beastbane, but we can't, and that's okay. Whatever. Let's go back into the strengthened weapons thing. We'll scroll through these. Okay, Phoenix Dagger can't be upgraded. What's other new stuff have we got? Are we still using the Axe of Beheading? Is that still what we're on? We can upgrade that from 418 to 700 damage, but is that what we've even got equipped? Or are we using Iron Will, which is also not all that great? Are we using the Phoenix Sword? All of this stuff requires giant eggs, and we ain't got no giant eggs! We've only got the one. We've got a giant egg, which isn't spectacular. Okay, and then we've got our spears, right? We've got a great selection of spears. Are we using Phoenix Spear? It requires the eagle egg that we've never been able to find again, and we never will. A Fool's Accord. Okay, that's the one you can drive down the road. Requires some Damascus steel. We have a couple in our inventory. Tell you what, let's have another look-see at what else we've got equipped. What do we have equipped here? Surely that's not what we have equipped. What's happening? Where's the...
You've killed my...
Okay, hold on. I've actually got to get out of this menu.
Come...
Okay. Really? So no wonder that we haven't been using these. None of them have been upgraded. What about spears? Currently we're using Dragonlance. We like Dragonlance. This spear is just better by in its base form. No, it has been upgraded. Phoenix Spear has been upgraded. Why don't we have it equipped? All right, let's go back into the menu. Hold on, give me a second here. Strength and weapons. We're gonna go back in here. First off, we can't upgrade Phoenix Spear again, but Phoenix Spear currently deals... you can't forge this weapon right now. It does 576, and we can upgrade it to 600 and some odd. Or... where was the other one we were looking at? Further up. What was I looking at here? Spear of the Usurper can be upgraded using just iron ore, and we can get it up to 418 attack power. Sunrise can be upgraded using silver ore and large gears, and it'll do 442. Well, let's upgrade our big sword first off. Iron Will is fine. Do we want to upgrade it again? It requires a lot of things to upgrade. Beastbane, not a big leap forward. This is kind of Axe of Beheading going up to 700 attack power. We've got the subdued bracelet for it. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. We're switching to the axe of beheading. And then for spears, we're going to switch to... Again, it kind of depends on base stats, where we're currently at. Phoenix Spear is already at 576. And we can't get anything past 576 without doing like a couple of upgrades, maybe. Both of these only require... We're going to do this one real quick. We're going to upgrade this one once. And we can't upgrade it again. Alright, in that case, our new loadout is Beastbane, naturally. Axe of Beheading, of course. And then we're going to stick with Phoenix Spear. That's our new loadout. Let's head underground. We're gonna go blatantly, brutally murder sad, tragic little shadow demon creature and his pet robot, which is a darn shame. We're not gonna collect rat tails anymore. We don't need them. We're no longer pretending like we're ever going to need all these rat tails. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one here. It was already on the way. Also, they're mouse tails, not rat tails. What's the difference? Size. And the creature it's acquired from. Rats and mice are not the same thing. They're both rodents. They're both of the rodent variety. There's no doubt about that. But also, like, which one would you rather deal with? Would you rather have a pet mouse or a pet rat? Pet mouse, correct answer. Would you rather have a mouse loose in your house or a rat? Mouse, correct answer. Well, I don't know. Rats are bigger. You definitely notice them, but they also would probably deal more damage, I'd assume. They're also just grosser. A rat is just a disgusting creature. There's no redeeming qualities about a rat. I've heard people be like, rats are actually very clever and they make for good pets. That's a rat. You gonna bring a rat into your house? That's disgusting. That's perverse. I don't care for rats. Mice are cute. Everybody likes a mouse. Mice are adorable.
Do you think he was ever truly happy?
Just making his little brother happy would have been enough. That's what being an older brother is like.
Yeah, you tell him what it's all about. You know what's up. My boy knows all about being an older brother. Being an older brother is all about leaving your sister to die. I can't even remember how our sister got taken anymore. It's been so long since the first half of the game. Oh wait, no, I do remember. Okay, so we were fighting a giant creature that was attacking the village. And then immediately after successfully defeating it, we find out that the Shadow Lord has managed to acquire our sister. What a tragedy. Let me have a look at the map and see if I can remember. No, we don't need to go that way. All we have to do now is head through here and get on the minecart. And before we actually begin this little adventure, we need to switch over to Dark Blast. The last time, hopefully, we'll ever be doing this, because I did this a lot for farming. Depending on how Ending E plays out, now that I think about it, we might actually have to do this again. I don't know. We're pretty decent at it. We're not bad. Like, I feel like you get to this part every time, though, when I say that. Like, oh, we're actually not too bad. And every time we get caught up around this corner here, and things start getting dicey, and I'm like, then again, maybe this is more complicated than I remember. Good news is that I'm pretty sure the end is right around this corner. And yeah, we've basically just done what I said was the tricky corner. And we nailed it. It's done. No, I didn't. Nope, it's not. That wasn't the tricky corner. Clearly this is. I would like for this ult to be different in the E playthrough as well. Can we get, like, reshuffled dungeons? That would be fun. Yeah, no, this is where things start to get overwhelming. As you can probably tell, there's a lot going on the screen right now. A lot of cannons, a lot of robots. It's all fine. We're staying on top of things. We're not getting electrocuted with their Darth Sidious powers. We're pulling through. Okay. Job well done, everyone. Job well done. Kaine's just here. Somehow. Kaine has just beaten us here. So if this is a new scene of Devil and Popola, we'll watch it. And if it's the boy and his robot... Oh, neither. I was going to say we might still watch it, because their story is kind of a tragic one. It's a great, sad tragedy. Darn you! I wanted to defeat it before it actually had the ability to do anything, which I guess we did just do, but I was trying to do it like as soon as it came out of the ground. Spear is great at this, by the way. We're just cutting through them like a warm knife through butter. We're getting all kinds of broken antennae and things. It helps that I think you do actually get a little bit more reach with the spear. Something I've criticized the game for up until now is it does kind of seem like no matter what weapon you're using, if you just are hitting the attack button, NieR tries to close in as close to them as possible, which is not actually super helpful. It would be better if he maintained his distance a little bit better. But whatever, you know, like I can't blame NieR. It's all on me. I'm the one controlling the game. If NieR does something dumb, it's definitely my fault, you know? Unless it's not, in which case I'll make sure to let you know. We did have that issue where the controller died last time. That was also my fault. I should have checked. I'm yelling at it. It's not like it's dead, and there's literally a red light on the top blinking. Like, please charge me. Please, for the love of all things, I want to be here for you. I'm a good little 8-bit dope controller. I'm doing my best for you, buddy, but you gotta charge me. I no longer blame the controller for what it did in Clair Obscur, because that is still the only game that ever happened on. That was not the battery dying. That was just suddenly the controller doesn't work, and you gotta, like, try to force it back on. It was so weird, and it only ever did that on Clair Obscur. It's not... That has not happened to it. Like, aside from the one issue where it was dying, which is a me problem. I should have charged it. We've had 0 issues on this game with this controller, or any other game we've played with this controller. The only game we've ever had trouble on is Clair Obscur, which makes me think it is a Clair Obscur problem. So this will be the room with the hole in the floor. Also, I think the last opportunity, really, the game has to give us a sad cutscene about the boy and his shade. I like that they call attention to the hole, as if you can't figure out what's going on down there. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar. Yeah, and I get what's going on here. I've been here a couple of times. I've done this. Do a quick save, just in case things get dicey. And then also, let's switch to our big axe of beheading for this, and we'll see where that gets us. This does crazy damage, keep in mind. Now, this is one of those fights again where we have to wait for dialogue before we can actually deal crazy damage. See what I mean? Everybody's got to have their say about this, and the two of them have to talk about intruders being detected. We can damage it. It's not that we can't damage it. It's like the game only allows a small amount, so we might as well just wait.
That thing is commanding the robot somehow.
I like how we have just like this wrong understanding of shades, and we just constantly assume like the worst of intentions from them. Can I damage it yet? Still not yet. Still not yet. We'll just stay back and occasionally hit it with one of these. Eliminate, exterminate, destroy all humans.
Must defend my mission.
Just gotta let them finish their bit. We can actually prevent it from doing attacks by waiting till it does its wind-up.
That's a shame.
And then hitting it with these.
Kill him. Kill him. Feel the hate inside.
We've actually managed to like completely stun lock him from doing anything. And now we can like basically kill him with a couple of hits, I think. Darn you. As soon as you're able to actually deal substantial damage to him, he starts doing real moves. Oh yeah, the Kaine's like full body armor is spectacular. You give everyone like samurai armor. This is an unhinged weirdo in the Twitch chat. You give everyone samurai armor, and it's like, you look at Emil, he's got the full samurai gear. You look at NieR, full samurai gear. You look at Kaine, the most naked she's been in the entire game. How is she a samurai right now? I don't know about Lady Samurais. Maybe that just was the case. Maybe that is historically accurate female samurai gear. I can't speak to the culture. I'm not an expert on it. You know, who knows? Once again, we've got to wait for a story beat. There we go. Now we can go destroy it. I just wanted to deliver one super like intense blow with my big weapon and deal the full 700 damage, and the game is not permitting me to do it. Because we have to go through all of these different steps. We've got to deal with video game malarkey.
Escape. Escape.
Come on down here, big boy.
Go. See the world.
So he is trying to escape right now. I think we missed that bit. I think we missed that bit last time, that is the reason he flew up to the ceiling. I think they were trying to get out instead of doing this unnecessary bit of combat with us. Which is sad. I wish they had escaped. I wish they'd managed to get out of here and go live their lives peacefully and happily on some beach somewhere. Get out of here, buddy. You can do it. Oh, shoot. It's a shame. We could just leave them. We could just go now. Oh, actually, no, we can't. We have to have the fragment. I forget. They do have a fragment that we need from them. Alright, let's kill the little boy. We have no option. We have to do this. I'm not happy about it. You're not happy about it. It's just the way it's gotta be. There it is. Man, Unhinged Weirdo, you missed the beginning of the stream where I was yelling about Jurassic World for an hour and a half. I've lost my voice. It's completely gone now. Well, I mean, obviously that's a falsehood. My voice is clearly still here and not completely gone. But we're doing okay. We're getting through it. Let me check here. My mission. Ah, a real shame. BB.
You stupid machine! You killed my family! You took everything from me! Why did you have to be here?
Beautiful. What a perfect example of humanity.
Sorry, I'm having to, like, check something here to make sure that it's going to come through.
You took everything from me.
Hey, come on. That's enough.
I was not playing Jurassic World, no. I was just screaming about the movie, because I watched the newest Jurassic World movie night before last. And I ended the film thinking, like, it's not that bad. It's fine. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. And then the longer it sat with me, the more I was like, this movie is terrible. I'm angry about this.
Will never heal.
Maybe it's just all he's capable of right now.
Revenge is a...
Yeah.
Okay. We've got the final fragment. That's all we need.
This is...
There it is.
Hold on, Yona. I'm almost there.
We're gonna go try to rescue Yona. It's gonna be beautiful. Ah, my throat is still killing me. I must look like a crazy person yelling about Jurassic World.
You know,
It's okay, though. I stand by my statements.
Why was a shade hanging out with a machine?
It appeared the creature was actually issuing orders to that mechanical minion.
Yeah, we've seen all this before. I want more Devil and Popola! The whole reason for what we're doing here is more Devil and Popola! Also, Gilliam, I had a question for you earlier. You said you suggested 26 endings. And I was like, that's too long. That's too many endings. And then you said just wait for NieR Automata. Are you trolling me right now? Is that real? Do I have to play that game 26 times? Is that a real? Is that? Are you messing with me, Gilliam? Is this a bit? No, Gilliam, don't. No. Don't put in the clapping pepes like that makes it okay. Oh my gosh, are you for real? I think this is gonna be the same conversation we had before. But before we had it coming into town from the desert.
So, we can finally save Yona now, huh?
It would appear that way. What is it, lad? You've quite the pensive look on your face.
Listen, I need your advice. It's about Kaine and Emil. This upcoming fight with the Shadow Lord is gonna be rough. And while
we've got confirmation from Unhinged Weirdo there are indeed 26 endings in Automata.
Are you truly worried about such a thing now? After...
Hey.
Someone's...
Kaine, Emil, look, I just...
Wanted to leave us behind.
Kaine's right. You now
Don't.
If it's just
I'm good.
Hey, we're...
26? Are they all necessary? Are they all canon? Which ones are important? Can we just do like 2 or 3? 26? How many of them are just like, this ending is the same as the last ending, but this guy's he's bald now? How many of them are just like that? I was gonna say, if that's a giant egg, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I don't care if it's a trap. Yona's waiting for me and I'm going.
Okay, we should get new... We've got to get new Devil and Popola stuff here. We're going to the end of the game now. They've got to give us something new. It's been so long. Yeah, they're both here as well.
You're really gonna do it?
You better believe it, Butter Buns. I don't know why I called her that.
The village is buzzing, you know. They say you're gonna go rescue Yona. I guess it's really happening, huh?
I'll bring her back. I promise.
About that.
Yeah?
Nothing. Never mind. Popola just loves to worry. Anyway, you be careful. Yes. Do be careful.
Thanks.
There's a lot of you died endings. Okay. Well, that's not like that's fine. We'll just not die. We'll just stay alive. Like the Bee Gees. Is that a Bee Gees song? Ha 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 ha, stay alive. Ow! We'll do that. It'll be fine. So they're gonna have a conversation when we get on the boat, at least, right? They're gonna explain, alright, it's time for us to go do that thing we have to go do now. Or something like that. They've gotta give me something. They gotta. They can't just leave me hanging on this one. I'd be really disappointed if they do. Alright, you. We're ready to take sail.
Oh there.
Take sail? I think set sail is the correct term. Take us to the Lost Shrine. We're going in through the rear. Just gonna divide and split down the middle. Here we go.
Welp, now they can finally enter the Shadow Lord's castle.
Oh.
Yes, but we can't relax just yet. If he kills the Shadow Lord, the entire plan will collapse. We'll need to restrain him before that can happen. Come on, you really think he'll listen to us? Maybe. It's just... I don't know. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about all the time we used to spend with him.
Who, the Shadow Lord or with NieR?
Devila? I know. We can't afford that kind of thing. I get it. But I know you feel it too. Even if I did, we have no choice. We were designed to do this. It's funny I'm even concerned about this. I mean, it's not like he has a soul.
Are we ready?
Let's all make it back alive, okay?
It's a plan.
Alright, I'm definitely ready. I'm prepared to go. Or we're doing the exact same thing we did before. Alright, if you were expecting me to actually engage with any of the monsters around here, I got some news for you there, but we're just not doing it. What we're going to do is we're going to make a break clear down the middle here. We're just going to be blasting a lot of these fellers here right out of the way, like so. And then once they're on the ground, just basically begging for death, what we're going to do is we're just going to start dodge rolling between them. So like this here, see? Got ourselves a twisted ring. That's nice. You don't need it, though. All right, now we're going to climb up the ladder. And I think the problem before getting knocked off the ladders because we weren't getting up high enough quick enough. But there's no way they can get us now. So we're just going to make a difference there, bud. We're just going to make it right down the middle there. And we're going to run up to the top. I remember being here 20 minutes ago. Talking about Jurassic World. What a simpler time. Remember that time we talked about bad Star Wars rewrites? I had some ideas for a Star Wars rewrite. Because, like, at the time, I was watching all these people pop off being like, I rewrote Episode 1, and they were all terrible. And I was thinking, like, could I do any better? Could I actually do any better than all of these terrible... Like, I'm never going to do as good as the great man, Mr. Lucas himself. But if I was going to change anything about Episode 1, what did I change? And so I sat down and started thinking through it, and I was like, what are the elements? And what I came up with was basically having the movie be almost identical to the way it is. But you change Anakin's circumstances on Tatooine. It's always weird to me that Anakin's like a 9-year-old boy and Padme is a 13-year-old queen. And it's uncomfortable to watch that play out in the movie because it's an inappropriate relationship for Padme to be having with a little boy. Granted, there is no relationship in that movie. it's clear that he's crushing on her pretty hard. Like, it feels a little groomy, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's not what George Lucas intended. It's supposed to just be like, oh, they're both kids, basically, huh? But I was like, you could just age up Anakin a little bit, and it's less weird. It's a little less uncomfortable, you know? And when you have Padme running around, like, leading her forces to recapture the throne room and all of that, and then you cut to Anakin, and he's like, oh, gee willikers, I'm just a little boy. Let's go take a ride on the spaceship. It's like, this is weird. This is weird, and I don't like it. So you just age him up a little bit. And then also, why you don't have any setup for the character of Owen Lars. And there's that great line in episode 4 where, you know, Obi-Wan is like, he didn't agree with your father's ideals, thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved. And it's like, that's not at all ever expressed in the prequels. Really, Anakin only ever met Owen once, when he came back and, you know, his mom was dead and he went and killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders. So I was like, how would I make very subtle small changes to not fix it? Because it's not broken. I love the prequels. I think they're actually really good. I don't want a complete rewrite, some terrible complete rewrite like all these hack frauds have done. So what are the very small changes I would make? And so what I thought about, and I'm unlike my Jurassic World rewrite where I made a better movie. I'm not suggesting this would have made for a better prequel movie, but I'm going to posit it to all you. I'm going to present it to you. Get your feedback. These are the very small changes I would make to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, to make for maybe a movie with fewer flaws. Not a perfect film, not a better film, but just like maybe something that is a little more cohesive with Episode 4, and that doesn't too drastically... It will change Episode 2. The bit where Anakin goes back to Tatooine is going to have to be redone, because that's not going to happen in this version. But instead of having a little boy, you have Anakin be in his early to mid-teens. He's got a little bit of a saunter, a little bit of a swagger to him, and he's orphaned on Tatooine, and he's actually friends with and lives with Owen Lars, and they're kind of like buddies, and Owen is the more sort of pragmatic and practical friend who is, like, they both live in, like, an abandoned hangar or something on the planet, and Owen's constantly going out, and he's just doing, like, jobs wherever he can. He's like, I got a job lined up for us on a moisture farm outside of town. You know, the old guy, maybe when he dies, will inherit the farm, you know, is kind of that sort of a deal. And it's setting up that that's how Owen gets the moisture farm. He's like, please, Anakin, come on, this is an easy job. No more racing, no more getting up into hijinks, no more of your nonsense. And it's like, I don't want to do that, Owen. You know, I've got bigger dreams and things like that. And he's got his, like, junked racer there he's trying to rebuild. And so when the main party arrives on Tatooine, they actually... You have that little force sound effect anytime a Jedi detects, like, a force thing is happening. Hold on a second. Before we progress, in order to actually get this new ending, I'm pretty sure we have to have all of the weapons. So let me very quickly get a list of all weapons NieR Replicant, and we're going to go through the lists before we bother doing this, and we're going to verify that we've got them all. Okay? Hopefully they're presented in the correct order here. So... Part 1 weapons, Part 2 weapons. Where's the list? Is there not a list here? Sorry, what? Are you not actually going to give me a list? What is this AI worthless article that I have pulled up here that doesn't bother to actually give me a list? Part 1 weapons and Part 2 weapons. Get out of here. I need... Oh, here we go. Here's a Reddit. It's probably going to be on the Reddit. Yep. All right, here we go. It looks like they're even in the correct order. Nameless Blade, Lily Leaf Sword, Nirvana Dagger, Moonrise, Rebirth, Every Worm's Claw, Blade of Treachery, Beastbane, Faith, Ancient Overlord, Phoenix Dagger, Labyrinth's Whisper, Fool's Embrace, Iron Pipe, Virtuous Contract, Cruel Oath. Okay, that's all of those. Okay, now we move on to our two-handed weapons. How do you think that's supposed to be pronounced? Kusanagi, Axe of Beheading, Fang of the Twins, Vile Axe, Beast Lord, Iron Will, Phoenix Sword, Labyrinth Song, Fool's Lament, Virtuous Treaty. Yep, that's all of those. Now we move on to these. Transients, Spear of the Usurper, The Devil Queen, Sunrise, Beast Curse, Captain's Holy Spear, Dragonlance, Phoenix Spear, Labyrinth's Snout, Fool's Accord, Virtuous Dignity. Okay, that is the 37 weapons. All right. Cool. All right, so we've got everything we need. Can confirm now we're good to go. We've done all of our saves. All of these are like fresh saves. Yep. Doing them again out of a sense of paranoia. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Here we go. The end of the game. We're about to get C and D back to back, and I said we'd be here before 3 o'clock. I thought we'd be done by 3 o'clock. I wasn't taking into consideration that I might need to take a break to go like unload mini splits.
The path is open.
We're gonna get back to my episode 1 idea here in a minute. I guess we'll get back to... Well, hold on. Let's see if there's a new cutscene. If there's no new cutscenes... Alright. So, you arrive on Tatooine, and you have the exact same thing. Qui-Gon and the company arrive. And they're looking at all the different shops. And they're... oh! My other change was that I want Panaka, and I want... what is the pilot's name? Captain Panaka, and then there's the guy who Rick Ollier. I want them to be in it more, and I want them to have a little bit more character. And I thought it would be a fun dynamic of Rick Ollier is this very rigid, like, I'm going to protect the Queen no matter what, and he wants to follow all the rules. And then Rick Ollier has a little bit more of a Han Solo thing going on. So they accompany Qui-Gon and everyone to town, and you even have a moment where Qui-Gon says, "Isn't your role here with the Queen?" Because Qui-Gon knows that Padme is the Queen. He's like, shouldn't you stay on the ship and guard the Queen? And he's like, the Queen has asked me to stay with the Royal Handmaiden. And he's like, mm-hmm. So they're there, and they're bickering about, I think, we need to go here. We need to go... No, we need to go over here. You have them bickering, and then Qui-Gon is like stroking his little goatee, and you get that... that sort of that sound effect you get when the Force is happening, and he like locks in on... Anakin. We don't know he's Anakin yet, but on a young man going into Watto's shop. And then he follows him in, and it turns out Anakin's not a slave, and he's not owned by Watto. But he's just sitting there, and he's trying to, like... You can tell he's using the Force, like to try to influence. Even though he doesn't know that's what he's doing, he doesn't understand the Force. It's clear he's trying to do, like, a Force mind trick to get Watto to agree to sell him some parts. And it's almost working, but Watto's like, no, get out of here! And Qui-Gon's like, interesting. And so then he ends up speaking to... Hold on. Let's go through all of this real quick. We know all the answers here, I believe. Ask me your questions. We got to focus on the plot sometimes. I can't be talking about Star Wars. The Black Disease. Humans can separate body from soul. Humans can be placed in corresponding shells.
Well then.
The way is open. And so then the conversation is like, excuse me, young man, but, I hear that you're quite good with ships. You sort of set it up like that.
It's the...
Popla.
Hey, this is a very... Even if you can find...
How did you get...
Shh.
I want them... What are you two doing here? Maybe they'll give us a different answer?
What are you two doing here?
They're not really explaining why they're here. I still don't get why they're here. They want us to be here, but they don't want us to kill the Shadow Lord. So how are they preventing that by confronting us right now?
I'm not going to answer that. You can figure it out yourself.
I think we're supposed to come here and open the doors, and then they're supposed to, like, basically knock us out so we can be the vessel for the Shadow Lord, and then they fail. I think that's what they're doing right now, maybe. Well, we're here to rescue Yona no matter what. What happens if I say they're right, let's go back to the village?
They're right.
Do you truly...
If I say yes, what happens? No, because I think it will just take us back to the village. No, we're here to rescue Yona.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice. No.
Actually, now I kind of wish we'd done it. Because a part of me thinks that it's possible they might refuse to let us leave because they need us here.
We didn't want
We
to
have
fight.
the D ending. We'll try it then.
We really didn't want to.
Oh, I know you didn't. I see the way you look at our mans. So while this fight plays out, because I'm assuming it's going to be no new dialogue or anything, and it's sort of the same case of, like, you got to run around and wait until we're allowed to attack them. Still not there yet.
We really wanted to avoid this.
So
We were
Qui-Gon figures out, like, Anakin is very, very strong in the Force. Like, so strong that, how is this kid gone unnoticed by the Republic and by the Jedi and all that good stuff? So basically all that plays out the same. And Anakin invites them back to the abandoned hangar that he lives in. And this is where you get your introduction to Owen Lars, who shows up and is like, Who are these people? I was like, oh, it's some friends I made when I was over at Watto's. He's like, what are you doing over at Watto's, Anakin? He's like, I'm trying to get parts to get the racer back up and going. The Boon to Eve Classic is coming up here in a couple of days. I'm telling you, man, I've got it this time. I know I've got it this time. I can do it. And he's like, I believe you, Anakin. I believe you can do it. But, man, I got us a job lined up out across the Dune Sea at a moisture farm. It's good pay. Can we just, you know, try to live our lives? I'm going to propose to my girlfriend, and you have, what's it, like Owen Lars's girlfriend. What's her name? I always forget. Aunt Beru. You have Beru there. It's like, I'm going to propose to Beru. If we work hard, maybe we can buy the place. We can just live nice, simple lives. And he's like, I want more than that. And so you have it to where Qui-Gon makes him a deal. He's like, can you get the parts somewhere else that accepts Republic credit? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll buy you the parts, you win the race, and then you give us the local money, and we'll use it to buy the parts for our ship. And he's like, okay, but only if you also get me off this rock. Take me with you, me and my friend. And so then the movie basically plays out the same. He builds the ship, and he wins the race. There's no bet to for Anakin's freedom because he's not a slave in this version. And then at the end, he does in fact win the race, and he's like, okay, Owen, come on, we're leaving. They're taking us with them on their adventure. And he's like, can't you just stay here and not get involved? Hey, that's what he said in episode 4. There you go. Your uncle thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved. And he's like, this is my destiny, man. And they shake hands, and it's like, best friends for life no matter what. And then the rest of the movie plays out the same. Anakin's a little older, so that's the only difference. But he goes to the temple, and instead of being like a little boy and they don't want to train him, he's just like a little older and a bit more like cocksure and braggadocious. And they're like, this kid does not have the right attitude for Jedi training. You know, we're not going to train him. And Qui-Gon, you know, he does the whole thing where he's like, fine, I'll leave. No, that's Obi-Wan. He goes, I can't do it. I will find you, and I will kill you. And they're like, whatever, dude. And then all the events play out exactly the same. The whole movie plays out exactly the same, except for maybe at the end you get a little peck from, because they're now appropriately aged, maybe Natalie Portman, Padme, gives him a little kiss, and he's like, wait a minute, I don't know about this whole Jedi thing. What do you mean? What do you mean we have to be celibate? Hold on now. And then episode 2 can basically be the same, except for the bit where he goes and, you know, finds out his mom is dead or whatever. But it sets up more of a reason for Luke to be given to Owen. Because it's not that he's like, I'll take him to his family on Tatooine. It's like, they're not family. His mom married Owen's dad, and they met once. That's not family. But now you have, like, Anakin had a friend on Tatooine. They were close as brothers. I could take the baby there. I'm sure they'd take him in, look after him. That makes sense. It's like, yeah, if you show up 20 years later, or however long it's been, and you say to, actually, how long? About 15 years, I guess, between episodes 1 and 3. And you're like, so Anakin's dead, and he's like, I told him he should have stayed here and not gotten involved. He's like, would you raise his son? He's like, yeah, of course I will. That makes so much more sense. And then the episode 4 line, where, you know, he's like, your uncle thought he should have stayed here and not gotten involved. Like, yeah, no, that's literally what he thought. He even said as much. It's perfect. So there you go. That would be the one change I would make, and I would leave the rest of it the same. I don't think... Was that a drop or a capsule on the ground? It was a drop. That's the one thing I would change. That's it. I would just have Anakin be a little aged up. I'd remove his mom. I'd have him be good friends with Owen Lars. Owen thinks he should stay there and not get involved. And I think that makes for a pretty compelling finale. I don't know about the rest of you. That's just my thoughts on it. You can agree. You can disagree. I don't care one way or the other. But that's how I would change episode 1. And then for episode 2, you don't have the weird scene where Anakin's like, I did a genocide, and Padme's like, you're so hot right now. That's not what she says. But she does, like, she kind of resists him through the whole movie until his mom dies and he does a genocide, at which point she's like, let me comfort you and maybe I am in love with you. And it's like, that's weird. And I know that's not George Lucas's intention to set it up that way. It's just a bit of unfortunate, like, writing the way that it turned out. But you can remove that now. You don't have to go back to Tatooine. Oh, also, if you want, you know, I liked much better the idea that 3PO and R2-D2, like, you don't need Anakin to have built 3PO. So you can change that to where 3PO is just Padme's robot. And he meets R2 because R2 is he is the robot aboard the ship. And that can be their first meeting. People complain like, oh, what do you mean Darth Vader built C-3PO? Like, dude, that's just the Force, man. That's just the Force. That's just, like, divine providence and all that. I'm okay with it. That doesn't bother me. But I do like it better if 3PO just meets R2 aboard the ship. And maybe R2 is like a scrappy robot, and he's very vulgar, and 3PO doesn't care for him. But throughout the course of the movie, they build a bit of a bond together. And, oh, you haven't watched Star Wars, Unhinged Weirdo? Oh, no! Oh, my gosh. Okay, yeah. So, like, what I'm saying is basically just me speaking another language at this point with my 3POs and my R2s. I sort of like also that being a bit of a change, where you have R2 be this kind of grimy, maybe even Rick Ollier doesn't like him. Rick's like, oh, no, not that guy. Like, I hate this stupid robot. I've been flying this ship for 10 years. He's always here just shouting vulgarities at me. I hate this stupid robot. And 3PO sort of takes him in under his wing and is like, I'm going to reform you. Goodness gracious me, I'm going to reform you, little astromech. Something along those lines could be fun. And then, yeah, he's sort of, because he does save the ship, he does get the commendations of the Queen and everything. And they do clean him up. Oh, also, I would change Jar Jar slightly. I would leave Jar Jar the same, actually. I like Jar Jar the way he is, as a big goof. But if you're worried about people hating Jar Jar, I would make Jar Jar... like, I'd keep Jar Jar in and keep the Gungans in. I'd have that plot be basically the same. The only thing I would change is I would maybe have Jar Jar be a little bit more like Captain... Oh, I can never remember his name. The Gungan captain that arrests them when they first get to Oda Gunga. Captain Torpil. Is that right? Torpil or something like that? I would have him be a little bit more like him, where instead of being this like wacky character, he's a little bit more quiet and reserved and a little bit more grumpy. I think you take the character of Jar Jar and the hijinks of Jar Jar and you put them into a character who doesn't want to be there, and it actually makes it slightly funnier. If the entire time he's just like, you know, I was out for my brisky morning munchies and now I'm here. You know, he's just like real grumpy about the whole thing and he's a little sour. So these are babies. We're not going to kill them. We're going to see what happens if we don't attack the babies. I think the game might eventually make us attack the babies. We're going to do our best to, like, not. And also, hold on just a second. Health salve. There we go. Remember, they're not doing anything but just being babies. At some point, we have the option to help Kaine. Yeah, see, we're not attacking them. I'm not killing them. Okay, you know what? Obviously, our companion here, our erstwhile companion, is killing them. So this is Emil's fault. Any babies that are dying right now are entirely on Emil. So I could say anything I wanted to about Star Wars, and Unhinged Weirdo would have no... Unhinged, I gotta ask, why have you not watched Star Wars? This is not like an attack. I'm just curious as to what the reason is. Has it just never come up in your life? That's insane to me. I can't imagine not watching Star Wars. At one point, I convinced my brother, and I don't know why he believed this, but I told him that at the time, there was the 6 movies, and I told him, starting on Monday all the way through Saturday, every day I watched one of the movies, and then I took a day off. Sunday was a day of rest, and then I started again on Monday, and I'd been doing it for years. And he was like, yeah, I bet you do that. I believe you. I can't believe you do that. That's a crazy thing to do. I was like, I don't actually do that, Micah. He's like, I don't believe you. I bet you do. Which is funny. That's funny. I don't actually do that. I actually don't watch Star Wars all that frequently. Despite the original 6 films being some of my favorite films of all time, I don't want to overdo it. Because you can overdo a good thing, right? So I actually only watch them maybe once every couple of years. Every so often, I'll turn on one of them. Like, I don't watch all 6 of them all that often. But, like, every so often, I'm like, man, I really want to watch Attack of the Clones. I want to go... Like, one of my favorite things about Attack of the Clones is Obi-Wan going and doing his investigative thing. I think that's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Wait a second. Your heart is different.
I don't think we can actually kill it again until all this dialogue is done. Yeah. We're doing, like, tiny amounts of damage to it. We have to wait for the dialogue to wrap up. There we go. We're unleashed now.
Let's just kill some shit and move on, alright?
I'm with you, Kaine. I'm with you 100%.
Oh, how very interesting.
I don't like that it's got that giant red eye on its back, but I have no way to actually hit it on the giant red eye as far as I can tell.
Damn shit.
Yeah, no, we've seen all of this before. No. So at some point we get into a rhythm of killing it again and again and again. and it just doesn't actually stay dead. And I'm wondering if we actually have to do that, or what happens if we don't. I think you must have to, because it cuts to a scene of everyone being exhausted and tired, and unable to, like, do anything, because of how exhausted they are from fighting this stupid pig. Oh wait, the pig chases up a hallway first. That's what we're leading to. I forgot about that again. Yeah, so now we're back at pig starts regenerating.
This thing?
I think Kaine's about to go beat on the door.
That fog! Oh no!
I can't stop now. Damn it.
Keep it up, Kaine.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on!
Dude, are you kidding me? The absolute damage we're doing with this thing? Let's go, let's go, let's go. It was never presented to you in a way that made you want to watch it. Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm going to level with you here. I'm not a big fan of the Disney movies. A couple of them are alright. Like, The Force Awakens was okay. The problem with The Force Awakens is Episode 8 and Episode 9 are both some of the worst films to ever be produced. And those movies actively make Episode 7 worse. Because now you go back to Episode 7 and you see all the kind of fun stuff that they tried setting up, and you realize that it doesn't go anywhere in the next two films, and it just makes watching Episode 7 a disappointment. So what I would recommend is, if you ever want to watch Star Wars and see what it's all about, just watch the original 6. Now, there's all kinds of creative ways that people have come up with to watch them, because like the issue is that they came out in 77, 80, and 83, and then the first 3 movies came out a decade later, in 99, 2002, 2005. And it's like, okay, well, the prequels ruin the surprises of the originals. If you watch them, you should watch them. There's different orders. People recommend watching them like the Machete order or the modified Machete order, which is, like, fine. But I think a lot of people know the big reveal of Episode 5 anyway, and it's not really a surprise. And I don't think the Machete order actually adds all that much drama or intrigue to the watch. So the Machete order... or the modified. Like, the Machete order leaves out Episode 1. The Machete order is you watch Episode 4 and 5, and then you go back and watch 2 and 3, and then you watch 6. I don't recommend it. The modified is you watch 4 or 5, and then you go back and watch 1, 2, 3, and then you go back and watch 6. I also just don't recommend it. What I recommend is just watching the 6 movies the way that the great man George Lucas intended you to do so. You watch Episode 1, and then you watch Episode 2, and then you watch Episode 3, and then you watch Episode 4, and then 5, and then 6. Alright, you just do that. And it's a good series. I strongly recommend it. If you want to watch a series, like, they're different movies, so episodes like 1 through 3 are all about, like, what if the government is run by bad people and everything is, like, it's like a conspiracy theorist's dream. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. It's like, what if actually every disaster is manufactured by the government so the people in power can accumulate more power and then eventually overthrow the will of the people. That's Episode 1 through 3. That's what it is. It's like, what if everything is being orchestrated by people at the top to acquire more power? That is those 3 movies. Very poignant films. And also, what if, you know, how does evil hide in plain sight and manipulate those around you and manipulate everyone for its own gain? Great films. Strongly recommend you watch those. They're political intrigue dramas with a bit of war movie added in, okay? And there's some great war movie content in those, okay? Episode 2, it invented the digital snap zoom, which you've gone on to see in other movies, I'm sure, where you have action happening on screen and all of it's CG and the camera is like panning and then it does like a hard zoom in like you're watching documentary footage, because George Lucas loved his World War II documentary footage and things like that. And so he took a lot of that. Like, the original trilogy has a lot of dogfights in it that were based on World War II dogfights. Just straight up. Like, they would just watch that, and that's how they would map out the fights in, like, the dogfights with the spaceships and everything. Which is really cool. Adds a level of authenticity to everything. It's like, oh, this looks real. It's great. Highly recommended. And then you get that a lot, too, in Episodes 2 and 3. Episode 1, if you're not, like, invested in Star Wars, I think might be hard to watch, because it is a little cheesy. It's very cheesy. But you kind of have to watch it to understand the whole series. And if Star Wars hooks you and you like it, when you go back to Episode 1, you'll really appreciate it, in my opinion. So that's the sequels, which I do, or sorry, the prequels, which I do recommend watching first. Then you go back and watch the original movies, 4, 5, and 6. They're They're much more sort of in the vein of like the political intrigue of the prequel trilogy is missing almost. Actually, now that I think about it, episode 4 has a lot of political intrigue surrounding the bad guys. You get to see things from their perspective and see them doing the little meetings where they sit down and plot and talk about the government and stuff, and like how the Emperor has now dissolved the Senate and governors are going to have direct control over the individual systems. And it's like the old republic's being washed away, which is a cool bit of world building, even if you don't watch the prequels and know about the Old Republic and stuff. But then it's much more about family. That's what it's about. It's about redemption. It's about courage and strength and friendship and the ties that bind and sometimes don't. And it's a beautiful saga of films. And then don't watch anything after that. You know, you might be tempted afterward to be like, well, maybe I'll like the Disney movies. You won't. There's nothing redeeming about them. If you want to watch the Star Wars, like the Disney movies, I would watch Rogue One. I would probably watch all 6 original movies, because you could slot Rogue One between 3 and 4, but I wouldn't. I would just watch it as its own thing. And then if you really enjoyed all of that, you can go watch the Clone Wars, and maybe Rebels. And then just stop. Or maybe watch The Mandalorian. And then just stop. I hear Andor's good. I haven't seen it yet. Season 2 of Andor, they replaced Space Jimmy Schmitz with a different actor. I like Space Jimmy Schmitz. No words? Just silence? Right into it?
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
It's been like 20 minutes.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1,300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a
I
refresher.
wonder if they're going to give us new documents this time. These all look like the same documents we've read before. So I don't think we're getting anything new there. This is kind of the last opportunity for them to give us new stuff involving the girls.
Devila. Opala.
All of us. You.
All of this is the same.
So, are. You have your own motives, your own desires.
Which you shouldn't, because you're a replicant.
And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
It would have been a simpler world. It would have been a better world if the NieR Replicant and the Yona Replicant just didn't develop sentience, and their shades could have inhabited them, and then none of this would have gone down. But, like, would it have actually been a better world? Also, how long before I can actually deal damage? Immediately? Kind of looks like immediately. But only a bit. I know we can only deal a bit, because there's a whole lot that has to go down here.
No.
If there's no new dialogue, I wish they just let us, like, one-shot her and, like, move on with it. Easy does it there. We're pretty close to it. I think we might be better off going with the spear, though. I think we can get more hits in, yeah. I was gonna say, we've just about done it. I'm not bothering to block her attacks or anything. We're just, like, eating them in the face. Because whatever. We've got so many healing potions and spells and things. A month worth of movies? It could be. It definitely could be. There's some fun stuff to look out for in episodes. Like, because here's the thing. People criticize George Lucas's writing and his direction and everything. But there is some clever bits in there. Like, the moment where... I don't want to spoil anything. Like, now that I know you've not seen them, there's a moment you probably like. There's a lot of things that are just like known in the cultural zeitgeist, but there's a bit in episode 3 where a bad guy makes a statement, and then a good guy later on, like halfway through the movie, makes the exact same statement. And there's a character who's kind of like in the middle, who's trying to decide which direction he's going to go. And as soon as he hears the good guy say the thing that the bad guy said earlier, he has this revelation that, like, the thing that I've been working towards is a lie. You know, the thing that I've been fighting for is no different than the thing that I've been fighting against. And so he makes his choice to go down a different path. And if you're not paying attention, you're not going to notice it until, like, several rewatches later where you're like, he just said the same thing the bad guy said. Oh, they have this basically the same ideology. Now, There's more to it than that. Like, obviously the bad guy is a bad guy. But you're like, oh, maybe the system is corrupted. Maybe the republic they think they're serving no longer exists. Oh, no! And it makes a little bit more sense why they do the things they do. This is no different than the last time we saw this scene. As like, I'm letting it play. It's a heavy scene. It's emotional. We're all tearing up right now. But it's kind of no different than we've seen this scene so many times.
Let's stop this now.
Stop. Stop. Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal, and now you want to stop?
I don't think we're going to be stopping now.
Bubble, wait! It doesn't have to. No one stops. It's way too late to stop. No one stops.
Okay, I think this is where... I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? I think their intention was to just... Okay, you got here, which we needed you to do. And now we're going to defeat you so that the Shadow Lord can have his vessel. I think that was the plan.
It's difficult to imagine.
I don't want to do this. I don't want.
I'm just waiting until the moment that this does more than a pittance of damage.
Start fighting. It's the only way.
And then we'll know we can go in there and like start whacking her. Maybe now? Yep, now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the "Are we the baddies" moment. They're good movies. They're good movies. They're flawed films. They're not perfect, but overall, I think the whole is really good. And then we can talk about Bionicle. Okay, you guys watched the Bionicle trilogy lately? Let me tell you about things I'd like to have another crack at. I love the Bionicle movies. I don't want to change them. I want them to stay as they are. But I've always wanted to do... Like, I have in my mind, I've thought about this sometimes. You ever, like, when you're at work doing repetitive tasks, go into a near... Like, externally, you just... You're doing your job, but mentally you're elsewhere. Like, mentally, I'm thinking about, like, if I had an unlimited budget and full control over the franchise, how would I remake Bionicle as, like, a gritty... I don't want to say adult, but, like, a gritty, more grown-up series. And I'm like, man, I could picture exactly how it would play out and the changes I would make to bring all of the lore into this, like, remake. But like, alter it slightly. Oh, it'd be good, too. It'd be fun.
And now that I'm older,
like a real gritty, like in Web of Shadows, when Vakama turns to the dark side effectively, and him and Matau have their dust up. The original plan that Greg Varsity had was to have Matau turn to the dark side, and Vakama has to go pull him back. I can go with either one. Both are good. But I can see a world where that is a much more brutal confrontation, and it's just they rough each other up, and then at the end, finally, like, Matau, whoever the one who's come to try to save the other, you can have it be either. He finally turns to his primal instincts to fight back, and he almost kills Vakama, and he has a last-minute moment of, like, no, I'm gonna beat the beast inside. I'm gonna be stronger than that. And Vakama's like, you're weak and pathetic, and then goes to throw him off the edge of the cliff. And then Vakama finally has that moment where he snaps back to reality. There goes gravity, and he rescues him. Oh, man, the fight between Kitangu and Sidorak is over so quickly, because it's supposed to illustrate that Sidorak sucks. But that's like a movie invention. In the books and in the comics, Sidorak is portrayed as a competent warrior and a good leader, like a good military commander. You don't get that in the movie. They just kind of goof on him in the movie. In the movie, he's abandoned by Rudaka, and he's like, I can't defeat him alone. She's like, oh, I know. And then he just gets crushed to death. It's like, it'd be so much better if they had a real proper dust-up where they're just slugging each other. Because Kitangu, he's mad at Sidorak. Sidorak led the Vistorak horde to basically annihilate Kitangu's species. I think Kitangu is the last of his kind. So it's so much better if you have this sort of brutal, like, you cook everything for me. And he's like, I don't even know who you are. And they have their little dust up in there. And then that's happening, and you have the mirror up on top where you have Vakama and Matau fighting, and it's all good. And then I had an idea for Web of Shadows that I for some reason convinced myself they were going to do this. When I was reading through the books for the 2005 storyline, I was like, there is an entire army of Vaki right, that are just like wandering around the city. Can the Toa are going to reprogram the Vaki so that they have an army to confront the Visorak army, and they're going to have a dust up in the Citadel, or whatever it was called, the big arena at the center of town. I was like, that would be so awesome. I kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and they just never do that. That doesn't happen, which is such a shame, because that would have been so cool to have this dust up where the Vaki and the Visorak are fighting each other, and you've got Rudaka and Sidorak leading the Visorak, and all the Toa are leading the Vaki. The Vaki who are after the Toa at the end of, or during the events of, what is episode 2? The 2004 storyline, the City of Legend or whatever it is. They're now like teamed up with them. It'd be so cool. It'd be so epic. We don't get that. And I think that maybe Greg Farsi could have thought of that, or might have thought of that, and might have wanted to do that. But LEGO had a bit of a policy. I think it was introduced later on. Maybe it was there before as well. But I think the idea was that they didn't want to have too many characters in a book that they didn't have sets for that year. Wake up! Wake up! A set of covers are torn from the boy, leaving his eyelids exposed to the merciless sun. We've not read this before. This is new. Hey there, lazy bones, says the voice again. Is this Kingdom Hearts? The boy's vision, blurry at first, gradually grows more clear. Before him, her face aglow with a radiant smile. Oh, it's his older twin sister, Halua. No, never mind. It's not Kingdom Hearts. Morning, Halua. Don't look so cheery, you butt. The teacher's going to be here any minute. Halua grabs her brother and pulls him beneath the bed with her, where they wait with a host of dust bunnies for their instructor's arrival. The moment Emil starts to ask a question, Halua shushes him by placing a finger over his mouth. Don't start. We agreed to this yesterday, remember? We're going to jump out and give the teacher the scare of her life. After a few ticks of the clock, the door opens and a slight woman enters the room. Good morning, Halua. Good morning, Emil. Are you ready for... Emil glances at his sister and sees her trying to stifle a laugh, which has the unfortunate effect of making a laugh rise in him. Then the dust bunnies decide to get in on the act, swirling up into their noses and causing the tricksters to sneeze in unison. Suddenly, the face of their teacher appears in the space between the bed and the floor. There you are, you scamps! This is your fault, says Halua. You ruined it by sneezing. Me? Cries a clearly wounded Emil. You sneezed just as loud. That's enough, both of you, says the teacher as she attempts to hide her amusement. Crawl out from under there and let me take your temperatures already. The pair shimmies out from their hiding place and stands before their teacher. She is a fair woman with a kind voice, one Emil would be happy to listen to for the rest of his life. In fact, he often thought that her waking him in the morning was his favorite part of the day. The teacher finds her seat, hunkers down, and lightly pats her leg, to which a happy Emil leaps into her lap. She then slides a chilly thermometer under his armpit, causing a shudder to race through his body. I'm sorry. Just be a brave boy for a little longer, all right? Emil used to hate having his temperature taken daily. The thermometer was just so darn cold. But he's become used to it after being at the facility for the past 2 years. His mother and father had perished in an accident many years before. He'd been told at the facility that they sent him to was simply a home for orphans such as himself, but he'd always had his doubts. After all, most orphanages weren't staffed by doctors in white coats who held lessons involving the repeated asking of strange questions, nor did they attach wires to the bodies of their charges and force them to enter enormous boxes. The process is endless, the tests unceasing, and yet Emil feels his teacher somehow floats above it all. She would talk to him about everyday problems, read him books, and even share a meal when time permitted. She is the closest thing he has to a mother. With both of their temperatures taken, Emil and Halua wait for breakfast, but something is different this day. Their teacher is strange, somehow. Off. Emil, she says quietly, do you remember what day this is? Emil looks over to his sister and sees her staring at him with an enormous grin. Nuh-uh, she says. You gotta figure it out yourself. But despite his best efforts, Emil comes up empty. I'm sorry, ma'am, he says at last. I just don't know. With a smile, the teacher reaches into her pocket of her white coat and withdraws a small package. It is a bag, neatly closed with string and tied at the top with a bright red ribbon. Happy birthday, Emil, she says. In fact, happy birthday to the both of you. Oh, thank you, cries Emil. Can I open it? Of course, replies the teacher. I'm afraid it's nothing so special, but I do hope you enjoy it regardless. Emil carefully unties the ribbon and opens the bag to reveal a small pile of cookies. They are the same snack they always received at the facility, but the fact they came from his teacher makes them somehow special. As a gasp escapes his mouth, his sister can't help giggling beside him, her eyes fixated on the bright red ribbon all the while. Do I need to hit the button? Yes, I do. Happy birthday, Halua, says Emil as he reaches into the bag, withdraws a cookie, and offers it to his sister. Needing no further encouragement, the girl crams the cookie into her mouth and swallows it in 2 bites. Happy birthday to you too, Emil. Then, as though remembering something, she leaps up and runs to the small chest of drawers the two of them share. After forcing open a stubborn drawer, she pulls out a single sheet of paper hidden under her white coat and runs it back to her brother. Here's your present, she says, thrusting the paper at him with a slight embarrassed look. When he glances down, he sees the words Happy Birthday Emil scrawled in a shaky child's hand, along with a picture of a generously colored person who had clearly been created from every crayon in the box. That was me. Unable to stop himself, Emil wraps his sister in a massive hug. Thank you, he whispers, as she returns the embrace just as tightly. I'll make sure to draw you on our next birthday, okay? My sister was there. My teacher was there. It was my birthday. I thought I could never be happier. Is this the day they do the experiment on him that makes him... I'm glad Halua's drawing is the last thing I'll remember. I sense a deep and perfect darkness descending over my eyes and realize my time has come. I am so terribly cold. As I try desperately to remember what it felt like to be embraced, I wonder if this horrible face is all that's left of me. Halua, I'm sorry. I couldn't keep my promise. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm coming to join you now. Just hold on.
Wake up.
Oh, this is new. Yeah, this is very new.
Please, wake up.
Please wake up.
Come on, Emil. Wake up already.
Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. I had a... I thought I'd be done sooner, so I had a scheduled delivery of groceries. And I was like, yeah, it's coming around 3, but I'll be done by then. Clearly not. Come on, Emil, wake up already. Halua, is that you?
You haven't changed a bit, have you, lazy bones?
Halua, have you come for me? Am I dead?
No, Emil. You're not dead.
Why is Emil not voicing this?
I'm just here to keep my promise.
In that moment, the world of blackness surrounding me exploded with color. Red, yellow, blue, and so many others. Colors I have no names for. Colors I've never even seen. It's like someone is using every crayon in the box.
I told you I'd always be watching over you, didn't I?
Halua, I don't...
Don't worry about it, you butt. Looking after little brothers is just what big sisters do.
Her voice, it's fading.
Sorry, Emil. Looks like I'm out of magic.
Halua, wait. Let me come with you.
You are with me. I'll always watch over you. So we'll always be together.
Halua, no, don't go.
Cry, Emil. I want you to be happy.
Halua.
Promise me that you'll live for both of us.
The darkness enveloping me flows away, replaced by a brilliant blue sky. I don't know where I am or what I'm supposed to do, but it's okay that I'm here. I know that much now. She's given me the courage to accept that. No more crying. I'll live with a smile on my face, because that's the promise I made her. And he survives as a ball, like a head, in the desert. How does he end up in the desert? That's the part I don't get. I guess it just went flying off. There it goes. I'm with you, though, unhinged weirdo. They could have voiced the wall of text. There's no reason they couldn't have. Or they could have just animated the scene. Give us a scene of these things happening. You read all novel segments about your friend's pasts. Let's go! So we've seen this, and I'm assuming this is going to play out exactly the same. He's just going to kill the big boar. We've seen this scene before, I think. Yeah, we've definitely seen this one before. We've seen this one before. And now we carry on. This is it. I think next couple of doors, because there's another hallway after this. There's always another hallway. Always a bigger fish. And then as soon as we get through here... Oh, jeez. Really? This is what we're doing? A bunch of nuisances. Why are they even attacking me right now? What are they hoping to accomplish? Is the goal to prevent me... Like, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Why are they trying to stop me? The Shadow Lord wants me here. Is the Shadow Lord trying to defeat me so that he doesn't have to do it himself? So that he can then just take my vessel? Because it kind of feels like he wants us to end up in here. So why fight? Why fight us? Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Who are you? No, actually, though, I don't... So many questions about motivations of various characters leading up to this moment. Questions that won't be answered. That's okay. Hey now. Hey now. Let's calm down. Let's not get carried away. Okay, are we good? We don't need any medicinal herbs. We don't need to heal or anything. Time to watch our party decimate. I mean, I think everyone who's dead has already died, right? Emil is ahead, flying through space right now. The king is dead. Rip in peace, the king. Moving forward, I'm hesitant to skip any cutscenes. Just in case something different happens. Like, this guy just looks like a villain. You know what I mean? Like, you come out of there like that, you just look like a villain. Okay.
This ends here. Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
Wait until such a time as when we can actually deal damage to it. It's not there yet. I don't know, we're dealing a good bit of damage. Maybe we can go ahead and...
How can a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord?
This guy sounds so cringe. I think he's probably supposed to. But he sounds like such a fake, edgelord, you know what I mean? You're just a tool. Okay, hold on. We're doing a bit, I think? No, maybe not. There we go. Beautiful stuff.
Be careful.
I know.
Does that feel like there's something's missing there?
But I think your heart is evolving.
It feels like there's supposed to be like another scene between those two bits. It just like hard cuts to, okay, you defeated the book, now you're fighting this guy.
What the hell's going on here?
Just say, you know what we never do is we never block.
You can't tell, Tyler? You're not the only voice in my life anymore.
In fact, I don't think we blocked at all as a game mechanic in the last 2 playthroughs. I think after the first playthrough, we just stopped blocking. We just went on to always be rolling. Even though, like, countering is a great move a lot of the time. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm just waiting for attacks to deal damage.
Oh, come on. You're doing this for him?
I'm tired of this world and everybody in it. But I'll become his sword one last time.
I don't. Was that the line she gave last time? That sounds like it might actually be a slightly different line than what we got before. We're still not there yet, by the way. I think Vice is gonna say like a couple more things, and then. There we go. All right, now we can damage him. Up until now, we've just been surviving. Oh, good job. Good job. Knock him down. Love to see that. Gosh darn it. Like, you want to use the sword that does all the damage, but at the same time, it's got such a slow wind-up. I think it's better to just go ahead and use this, because we can get in there and poke him a lot. Where is he? He'll still you. That's the problem. He's really good at keeping you away from him. Something's different's got to happen. There has to be something different. It cannot just be that we got a little bit more dialogue from Devila and Popola. We've done this entire playthrough. I want to throw out there, it's been 3.5 hours. We redid the entire second half of the game in 3.5 hours, and that is including 2 times I had to break to go, like, get stuff, like unload a mini-split, and then also accept a grocery order delivery, right? There's 2 breaks we had in the middle of this. And we've still managed to knock all this out in 3.5 hours. Pretty decent, I gotta say. Not speedrun worthy, because we were taking our times on some bits, and the whole time we were screaming about dinosaurs and Star Wars. So, and Bionicle at one point. So I'm pretty happy with our performance so far, but it has to be something new. We've seen this cutscene. We assume that she's gonna go disappear into light. Yeah, and we're back here. It's exactly the same cutscene as before.
Kaiji, watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand your sadness? Think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends.
Congrats, you only get 3 lines of text. Play again. That's what it's felt like! That's what it's felt like! It feels like the same ending again! We do know that there's gonna be something that happens where we're given a choice. And the choice that we pick will decide on whether or not we get C ending or D ending. And we want to make sure that we make the correct choice for C ending.
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
Oh dear. Don't know what I'm doing. Like, we can't actually damage him. I don't know why I'm trying. We gotta wait till Vice is finished. We're about to lose Vice, by the way. Yeah, right here. Now we can deal some damage. And now Vice is gonna go away. He's gonna cease to exist. Cutscene we've seen already. Now it's just us.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live.
My God! We could actually just leave. That's true. Yeah, we don't actually have to defeat him. We've got Yona. We can just leave. Soon I will join you. If you want to go join her, stop fighting back. Right? Like, we can make this go by so much faster. Okay, there's got to be something new here. This has got to be a new bit here, right?
Well, ain't that precious?
I'm happy for him.
Pretty sure this is new.
You know, Sunshine, that black scrawl has almost completely taken you over.
Yeah, I know.
But goddamn, we had fun, huh? Killing and killing and more killing. What a rush.
Yeah.
Wait. No. No. It wasn't fun at all. I turned you into a killing machine. I spread evil and chaos around the world. But it all feels so empty now. Why? I don't understand.
Sorry. Looks like you stayed inside me for a little too long. Sunshine.
Oh my.
Stop! Don't be nice to me! Don't make me feel like this!
Oh my gosh, we're causing a change of heart. Do we need to go?
I'm gonna swallow you up, Sunshine. Gonna swallow you whole.
You alright, Kaine? You okay? You doing alright over here? Looks like you're having a bit of a time.
Kaine?
Yeah, this is new. This is good.
Listen to me.
I'm listening. I'm all ears.
The shade inside me is growing, and I can't stop it. Soon, real soon, I'm gonna go berserk.
I can't hold it back anymore.
Kaine, you have to fight. You have to...
Just shut up and listen to me. Emil is gone, all right? So there's no way anyone can stop me. Please. Before it comes to that, I want you to kill me.
Yeah, this is going to be a big conflict of interest for us. So this isn't really like a different ending, though, right? This could have happened on every previous ending, and we just didn't see it because it fades out to the credits before that. So this has always been something we've been forced into. So we've had a teaser. We've had a teaser of this fight before. And now we're back. Oh, we still don't have Grimoire of Ice! Oh no!
Well, hell, sunshine. It's not like I can stop it. When Gestalts go out of control, they lose their minds. Both of our memories will be completely overridden.
Uh-oh. Okay, so it's not actually either of them causing this to happen. I need Grimoire of Ice back. I can't do nothing. Uh-oh.
I have to do something.
I kind of assumed that what I needed to do was destroy these little orbs on the ground. That didn't do anything, though? That doesn't appear to be what we need to be doing? I don't know what to do right now, other than try not to die.
I made it this far because you were with us, Kaine. I'm who I am today because of you. I'm not going to give up.
Maybe we're not supposed to be trying to reach her. Maybe we're just supposed to be staying alive.
I'm going to save you. I swear it.
I didn't do anything. Just time passed is all that happened there.
Well, there might be one way to save her.
Who said that?
It don't matter, so don't ask. Just shut up and listen.
Wait, are you?
I said, listen! There's a way to save Kaine's life, all right? But you're gonna have to make a difficult decision.
I'll do whatever it takes.
When the time comes, I'm going to pin Kaine down. And as soon as I do, you need to stab her in the heart.
No, I can't.
Fine. Don't believe me. Stand around with your thumb up your ass and watch her die a terrible death.
Damn it.
Doing great. We're just basically tanking the hits. Oh, you know what we could do? Take one of those, and then take one of these, and deal way more damage. There we go. There we go.
Very nice. Now, if you want to save your precious Kaine, there are two ways to do it. One is to plunge your sword into her chest. That's what she wants after all. Freedom from burdens, freedom from life.
What's the other way?
The other way is to make her a normal human being again. But to make that happen, you gotta trade your own existence for hers.
Oh, no.
Well, there you go. Good luck with that.
You're that shade. The one who lives inside Kaine. Why are you trying to help her?
Probably for the same reason you are. Enough talk. Make your choice.
Okay. Before we choose, we're going to go ahead and check one more time, because if we mess this up, we might miss an ending. It's possible to do the D ending and never get C, and everything gets wiped, and you get sent straight to E. So let's check one more time how to unlock all endings in NieR Replicant. Okay. When you start C, blah, 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 get all the weapons you need. After obtaining ending D, well, that's not clear enough. Hold on, let's try again. No spoiler endings guide. This is the one I use, Steam Community. Here we go. Ending C. Okay. After defeating the final boss, you fight an extra boss. Choose to kill when the prompt appears. Okay? And then we reload for D. So we're doing the correct thing by, I guess, killing. Fight wife because... Fight wife because of shade. Wife fight back! Kill wife. Regret. It's a good meme. My brother sends me that meme at least once every 3 or 4 months. It's good stuff. Why fight back? End Kaine's life and free her from the burden, or sacrifice your own existence to make Kaine human again. We got to go with that ending A. Kill. Kill Kaine. Kaine more like kill Nay. Am I right? Let's go, everybody. The puns are strong today. Plunge that sword in there. Temper your sword in her heart. Only then will you become Azora High. We're the prince that was promised. Let's go defeat the what's his name? Heart of the forest or whatever. The heart of the winter. Sorry, were we about to kiss her? Did we have a romantic thing going on? Like, I know we talk about Kaine a lot, but did we ever actually allude to any sort of romantic feelings between the two of them? I know that she said that we look at her like she's just a normal person, and she likes that, but, like, that doesn't necessarily mean she's in love with us. It's a bit of an assumption on our part.
Can you hear me?
Kaine, can you hear me?
I spent years inside Kaine's body, tormenting her from within. I felt her pain, her emotions, as if they were my own. And there was so much pain. So when I say she's free now, I want you to believe me. Thanks to you, Kaine has been forgiven and saved. Oh wait, she had a final message for you. Thank you.
Kaine. We'll always be together.
I mean, not really, because she's dead, so we're not really with her anymore. Also, where did our sister go? Did she just leave the room for that? Was she like, I don't want to watch this fight. I'm gonna head out. I know where the village is. I can get back there by myself just fine. Alright, let's go. Can we skip the credits? No, we cannot. That's fine. At least not with any of the buttons I'm currently pressing. What do y'all think? Y'all want to go ahead and do Ending D? All that Ending D requires, we don't play through the whole second half again. We just reload our save. And we go through that ending bit again. Where we fight Devila and Popola and the big hog and everything. And then we get down... we just do all of that again, and then right there at the very end, we make a different choice. That is the only difference between D and C and D. So, I don't know. How long did it take us to get through there before? And if I'm, like, much more aggressively skipping cutscenes, how much quicker could we get through there? Because I don't think anything new is added until after we do that. Hello? I think the credits are different right now as well. Have they ever been on a white background? I don't think we've seen that before. Alright, let's find some interesting names. The problem is, like, what is an interesting name versus just being a Japanese name? Hideki Miwa is a cool name, but it might just be like that might be the John Smith of Japanese names. You know what I mean? Hiroshi Watanabe. I hear Watanabe a lot. That's probably a pretty common one. Iris Roshop. Raushop? That's a fun one. Rauskap? Jason Brooks. Jason Walker. I like that it's in alphabetical order. That's fun. Hozo Hiros. Will you get Ending E? Yeah, we're going to do Ending E. Ending E is replaying the entire game, though. So we're not doing that one tonight. That would require however long it takes to go through... Well, apparently Ending E is the one that is very different. So I don't know exactly how long it is. I guess we could look that up. But you do start the game from the beginning. Not just the beginning of Part 2, but all the way from the beginning of Part 1. And I assume everything is available to redo, like side quests and stuff. I don't know if they're different. Let's see. Ending D. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Yeah, Ending D will erase all your saves. It's important to create 2 saves to get Ending C without having to replay again. Yeah, so we did that. We spared them. This will provide you with the D ending achievement. Wait, what? Well, hold on. Wait, what? Ending D. Oh yeah, reload your save from before the final boss. Go through the motions. Spare them instead. That's going to delete all of our saves. And then when your save files are deleted, your login screen will show up with a different banner. This means you can now activate the new ending. Create a new game file with a completely new name from the one you used in your main playthrough. Play through the game until you get to the point where you fight the giant shade named Hook in the area for the second time, where Kaine would normally join your party. So that's way back at the beginning of the game. This is where things will play out differently, and you will get a new ending. So here's things that we want from the new playthrough. We don't want Fira to die. We want Fira to live. We don't want the king to die. We want the king to live. We don't want Kyrie to die. We want Kyrie to live. We already know that Emil is fine. He's ahead in the desert somewhere. What other things do we want? Rescue our sister. Rescue Devla and Popola. We want everyone to live and have a happy ending. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's good. But what I was actually going to Google here was how long to beat NieR Replicant ending E. Let's see if that comes up. How long is ending E? Interesting. Okay. I just finished ending D, and I'm curious how long ending E is going to be. Thank you. About 2 hours to get to the new content if you mainline it. Then about an hour and a half of new content. An hour or so, but that's just the new content. It'll take around 2 hours to even get there. So 40 to 60 minutes. Those minutes are pretty much the best part of the game and packed full of action and story. I remember really enjoying it. E made grinding for those 33 weapons feel worth it. 3 to 4 hours from new game to finish. Okay, so we could probably knock it out in a single stream. We can do all of ending E, it looks like. It looks like it's going to be much less involved. Oh, and also Gilliam has found about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Well, I think that's just like to get to the new stuff based on what I'm reading here on Reddit. So yeah, you play through the beginning of the game, same as normal, and then you get a couple hours of new stuff. So I'm going to say maybe 3.5 to 4 hours, possibly. Skipping cutscenes, blah, blah, blah. If the beginning of the game is exactly the same, it plays out exactly the same, we can skip all those cutscenes. Because we've already played through the beginning of the game. And just get to the new stuff in the area. Alright. Save there. That'll get us ending C. I'm going to go ahead and replace all of these with ending C, because why wouldn't we? There we go. And then out we go. Exit the clear data save screen, absolutely. Your choice in this decision could allow you to view the very last piece of the ending. Okay. So now when we load our save, we should be... No! No! I just did the wrong thing! Oh no! Why did I delete them all? We were supposed We were supposed to reload into one of those saves to get ending D. And I wiped them all out. I wiped all of them out. Which means to get ending D, we have to replay the entire second half of the game again. Why did I do that? Why did no one stop me? No, 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 no. It's gonna drop me off right back at our stupid house. Oh no! Well, folks, we will not be doing ending D today. What we will be doing is, I've got to fight this thing again so I can at least get to a save point. And then what we're going to do is, I guess I will by myself, I will go through, in between now and the next stream, I will go ahead and get us back to that point. Because this is going to be exactly the same. Nothing is going to be different. And, when we resume the next stream, I will I'll have already gotten us back up to that point. and we can go in and just do the new D content, right? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to double check and make sure there's absolutely nothing different between C and D, but I don't think that there is. I will go ahead and do everything up until the moment where we have to make the choice. And then we will resume the stream from there. And the next stream can be... Oh, I completely missed that. The next stream can be us going in and just making the choice and then doing ending E. How about that? How about that? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed and I'm depressed and I'm miserable. I don't know why I made that decision. There's no reason for me to have done that. I even said, I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm a broken man. I'm a broken man. I said that we needed to reload that save. Why didn't we reload that save? Why is it all pain and suffering? Why is there no reason to exist anymore? Why is it all pain? Pain! Pain and misery! Nothing left, nothing good in the world but suffering. Nothing but misery. I'm in suffering and pain. I've made horrible choices. The world's on fire around me. Everything's burning down. How did we do this? How did we do this? It's a me thing. I did it. How did I do this? How did I do this? And just the instant realization, the instant regret, the soul-crushing misery, the pain at the core of my being.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
I know you didn't get much sleep. I've heard it before, NieR!
For the first time in my life, I hated Devil.
I hate Devil too. And I doubt Popola as well. Get me through this BS. Let me get to a save screen so I can save the game and then go drown my sorrows in a pint of ice cream. Get me out of here, please. I'm pressing A as aggressively as humanly possible, and the dialogue cannot be skipped. I have to read it. I have to hear it. I have to be reminded of my misery and my failure at every possible moment. The game will not let me relent. Relent, game! Relent and end my suffering and my torment!
Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
I don't want to be here anymore. Nobody knows the trouble. You're not gonna let me skip this! I'm ending the stream! Thank you all for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you in a future after I've suffered through this nightmare further. God bless you, and goodbye, my friends! God bless you all! And goodbye!